This is a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Any other use of this telecast, or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.
Hello and welcome, everybody. It's that time again. Newcastle Racers football is live and with you on the Oklahoma Sports Network. It's playoff time in Oklahoma, the best time of year. We're here. It's the Newcastle Racers, the Elk City Elks, Friday Night Football on OSN. Josh Calloway here with you, joined alongside, not by Billy Collier. We are so thankful and honored to welcome in, filling in for Billy this week, the incomparable Mr. Gene Reed, longtime public address voice of the Newcastle Racers. How many seasons? I know it's like close to 3 decades now.
I believe 29 seasons in the press box, Josh. So I'm very glad to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, we're extremely excited to have you. Thank you so much for filling in for Billy. Obviously, few people know Racer football as good as you, so we're very lucky to have you on deck for us, filling in for Billy. And I know that it's killing him not to be here, but it makes it easier on him knowing that we have yourself here filling in tonight.
We'll try to hold a good standard for Billy.
Yeah, absolutely, and it should be a fun one tonight. It's Billy and I were just talking on the air last week how fortunate we've been on a weather perspective this year. It's cold tonight. It is frigid out here. It feels like the playoffs. It's a beautiful time. These games mean so much. There's so much emotion and passion in them, but I'm glad we're indoors tonight. Let's put it that way.
It's a beautiful cold. I mean, it is cold. The wind is laying down a little bit. It's so clear and crisp. I believe it's football weather, Josh.
It absolutely is. It is frosty. People who are a lot tougher than me out here playing in it, and they're going to be just fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. This is the Countdown to Kickoff presented by Focus Federal Credit Union. Focus Federal Credit Union has been proudly serving Oklahoma for over 67 years by providing innovative products and services for you and your family. Enjoy a more personalized banking experience complete with a handshake and a smile. Everything you'd expect from your local credit union. To find out more, visit them online at www.focusok.com or by calling them at 405-230-1328, federally insured by the NCUA. Setting the scene here at Big Elk Stadium. We'll get the bracket here up for you for what things are looking like right now. This is the left side of the bracket. You have it on your screen there. Newcastle Elk City tonight. The winner of this one get the winner of McLean and Hilldale. They're playing tonight as well. Obviously, all the 4A playoff games are in action all at the same time. I do think that's actually a 7:30 kick out there at Hilldale, so we'll be kind of trailing them throughout the night, but we'll peek in throughout the evening, check on that score, because the winner of this one will get the winner of that one next Friday in what would be the quarterfinals. Over at the bottom, Broken Bow is in Cushing tonight. They're undefeated, those Cushing, I think the Tigers. I hope I got that right. Hosting Broken Bow tonight. And then Weatherford is in Blanchard tonight. The Lions, who we're very familiar with, obviously, hosting the Weatherford Eagles. And these are the entire left half of the bracket. The winner, a state championship game representative, is on your screen. Somebody of that group that you're looking at right now will play for the Gold Ball when it's all said and done at UCO here in about a month from now. It's exciting, right? I mean, it's the most fun time of year. The stress of it, the anxiety of it, and it's as cliche as it gets, but it's true in that when you get to this point, everything you've done up to now means diddly. I mean, it's win and keep playing, lose and you're done. I mean, that's
right. That's right. And it's what these kids play for. It's what the fans live for. It's tough to have to go on the road for that first game, but it's going to happen to half the teams who play.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely. So it should be a lot of fun tonight, and it's a far jaunt out here to Elk City. Obviously, it's not exactly right down the road, so if you're a Racer fan who hung back at home tonight watching, we thank you so much for finding us on the Oklahoma Sports Network. I know we have a pretty decent Elk City contingent that we're excited about the game down at OSN tonight as well, so I saw a lot of that. So welcome in anybody from Elk City or know people from Elk City or, however you found us. We're thankful that you did. Racers and Elks tonight on the Oklahoma Sports Network should be a lot of fun. So we're going to take a timeout here. We'll come back, and when we do, we're going to set the scene. Gene and I are going to dive into this ball game, keys to the game, players we're watching for, all that good stuff. The Racers and the Elks on the Oklahoma Sports Network 4A playoffs. We're setting the scene and keeping it going here at Big Elk Stadium on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
When it comes to your home, you need someone that you can trust to keep it safe and protected for you and your family.
Vesta Foundation Solutions is your local, family-owned company that has helped many homeowners fix and protect their homes.
Our engineered solutions can take care of all of your foundation repair, basement waterproofing, concrete leveling, and dirt crawl space repair needs.
We take pride in getting the job done right, and you'll always be protected with up to a 75-year warranty.
Contact us today for a free estimate.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others. Join the fight.
At CFD, our mission is to deliver quality dentistry by providing big practice benefits with a little practice feel. Since 2008, we've updated our look, technology, and have added new smiles to our tenured staff to better care for you right here at home. Convenience for you is one of our biggest goals, and we often provide same-day treatment to minimize your time off work. We are open Monday through Friday to serve you. Visit cfdok.com for details. We look forward to seeing you at our big little practice.
Back here at Big Elk Stadium in Elk City, Oklahoma, setting the scene, getting ready for this playoff matchup between the Newcastle Racers and the Elk City Elks. Should be a fun one. Two teams that obviously know each other pretty well. They were in the same district for a very long time. We were out here just last season, Billy and I, seeing this matchup. So two teams that normally get to the playoffs, and it's somebody not really totally used to seeing on a year-to-year. Newcastle and Elk City know each other well, and they're going to collide tonight. The Elks do come into play this evening at 9-1. Had a really good season. Coach Zach Maynard is leading the charge. It's his second season, and this has been one of the truly astonishing program turnarounds in the entire state in what he has done in just his couple of years. They won 10 games last year. They were a semifinalist, lost to Clinton in the semifinals last year. This year, obviously 9-1, won their district. You know how many games they won, Gene, from 2018 to 2020? Three total in those 3 seasons. They've got 10 wins last year and 9 this year in the 2 years under Zach Maynard.
Big turnaround.
Unbelievable job that he has done. I mean, that's staggering. I mean, they went 0-10 in 18 and 19, 3 games in 20, and then insert Zach Maynard. 10 wins last year, a spot in the semifinals, and now this year, I'll say a tremendous season, 9-1. Pretty unbelievable. They do have a couple of common opponents with Newcastle. If you want to try and play the transitive property game, which is a slippery slope, but we can do it a little bit. They played Bridge Creek back in week 2, beat them 52-0. Newcastle did win that game 68-0. I mean, you're splitting hairs on blowouts, but it was by a little bit more. And they played Woodward a couple weeks ago, beat them 33-21. The Racers, if you remember, played Woodward all the way back in the home opener and beat them, I think it was 34-12, if my memory serves correctly. So both those common opponents favor Newcastle slightly. I mean, again, I don't know how much you can take away from something like that, but that is something a little bit to take away from if you're the Racers. So we'll see what happens tonight. And these two teams get together. And like we said, they did play last year on this field, a game that Elk City actually did win when these two teams met last year at this very same stadium. And Billy and I were in this very same booth. So we'll see if the Racers can get on the right side of it this time around. Okay, so with all that being said, let's go ahead and dive into this matchup a little bit, starting with our keys to the game, presented by Extreme Tree Service, premier tree service in the OKC Metro. Catch them for tree trimming, branch and tree removal, tree pruning, stump removal, and grinding. Anything you need, call them at 405-977-9001. Our keys to the game presented by Extreme Tree Service. Gene, what are some things you're watching for tonight? What do the Racers got to do to try and get this road win?
Well, the first thing that came to my mind is running back rotation. Coach Brickman does a good job. He has a good group of running backs. People can run the ball, and he rotates them pretty effectively throughout the year. He's got Bolser and Bradford and Corbin. Those three will rotate in and out. Sometimes he'll leave them in for a few series at a time, usually does. But then you also can work into Nix, Randy Nix Jr. Into the rotation, especially that jumbo look. And don't forget Burt, quarterback. Jackson Burt can carry the balls, now running back. But I think if Coach can effectively get those running backs rotated in and out as he sees fit, that'll be one thing. I think another thing for Newcastle is they better be ready to stop the run. This is a run, ground-gaining offense. They need to stop the run, but they better stay honest with the pass. Don't let the run game hypnotize you. The linebackers, defensive backs, you better be ready because they can pass. In fact, one game, they only threw 5 times, completed 3, but 2 of those 3 were for touchdowns. The other thing that comes to my mind for Newcastle, keep your poise. Maintain your poise. Maintain your composure. This is a young team, Josh, and this is a big stage. And in some ways, it may not be much bigger than playing against Blanchard and Tuttle or even Bethany. Those are big stage games, too. But this is a playoff game. I hope they keep their poise. And then finally, Burt's ability to get the ball into the hands of his receivers. Those things are all key for the Racers tonight.
Yeah, great stuff. I agree with all that stuff. I mean, Newcastle's at their best, and like you said, I mean, it's a massive strength that they have. They have so many guys that they feel reliable to run the rock, to run the football. And Randy Nix, whenever Newcastle's offense is humming, it's when he's coming in and that, like you said, that jumbo package, especially down low, down inside the in the red zone, inside the 10 goal line situations, really hard to stop when he gets ahead of his team going. So excited for that. I'm also interested too, for me, just it's a weird situation, like I mentioned earlier, with these teams know each other well, which you don't really get in the playoffs all the time. I think that, in a weird way, almost benefits both teams. I don't know if that's possible to benefit both teams, but Elk City, I think in this spot, for a lot of teams, you're 9-1. You had a great season. You're the 1 seed. You're at home in the playoffs. There's a chance for an overlook, but they know how good Newcastle is. They saw them just last year. They're familiar with them, so I don't know if you have to worry about that too much if you're an Elks fan. And the exact opposite is also true for Newcastle, in that they can draw some confidence from the fact that they know Elk City. They beat them a couple years ago. They played them close, I hear, last year. Like, there's not going to be that there's fear of the unknown of they're just this team that we don't know anything about that had a great, like maybe a Cushing would be, or a Wagner. I mean, you never see them, so you just look at their scores and their record, and there could be some intimidation level. I don't think Newcastle's going to have to sweat that quite as much because they know Elk City's good, but there's some familiarity there because they just saw this team last year. They know what Coach Maynard likes to do. So I think that's kind of an interesting wrinkle to this game that you don't always get in the playoffs. So excited to see how that shakes out for sure. You mentioned a few there. What are some other ones that you're looking for impact players tonight? Let's jump into starting lineup impact players presented by Chris Dumm, Allstate agent. Chris Dumm is your Allstate agent, offering auto, life, and home insurance. He enjoys being a part of this community and building local relationships is one of the best parts of the job. He knows what life is like in Newcastle, so call him today for a free quote, 405-392-2390. That's Chris Dunn, Allstate agent, a really loyal and one of our best sponsors of Newcastle Racers football on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Any guys in particular that you're circling as important to have a big night for
Josh?
Newcastle?
When you're at this point, you ask yourself, who needs to have a big game? And the answer is everyone. Everyone needs to have a big game tonight. But
not gonna argue on that.
I would say some things that come to my mind. On defense, Jackson Shanuel, that safety, and the other defensive backs, again, don't fall asleep and lose yourself with the potential for Elk City to do different things. Carvion Young. Young needs to be everywhere, and he often is. He may not get a lot of solo tackles, but he's in on a lot of tackles. And when he hits big. And, of course, Taj and the defensive line, that's very key tonight. Then on offense, I'll just run a few names. Carson Bolser, of course, 853 yards for the year. But, Josh, over half of that have been the last 3 games. He needs to have a big game tonight. The offensive line needs to protect Burt, open up some lanes for the running backs, and, of course, Toby Batchelder. Our kicking game could be a big difference in tonight's game.
Yeah, absolutely. Completely agree with you there. Toby Batchelder, a major strength for Newcastle all year. Obviously had the tough miss last week that would have beat Bethany at the buzzer. Came back with some clutch kicks in overtime that you hope helped him kind of get over that, and make sure the confidence stays up, because Billy and I talked about it all season long. There are a lot of teams in high school football, a lot of really good teams that do not have a reliable kicking game at all, and they don't even try extra points or field goals. So if Newcastle has that in their back pocket, I mean, points are precious in the playoffs.
That's right.
You're just making sure you got your extra points.
Especially.
It's gonna be big.
And Toby is 6 of 8 for the year with a long of 40 yards, so he can put them through there. He has 46 PATs, so he is accounted for 61 points for the year. So I agree, big part of the game.
100%, and I'm with you on Carl Young as well. That guy, he was popping some pads big time last week against Bethany, especially. It seemed like he was in on everything, and like you said, he lays the wood. So excited to see what he can do out here in this cold weather. Well, the X factor too is the cold weather. We talked about it off the top, but I mean, we haven't had to play in cold weather this entire year. I mean, it's been warm pretty much the entire season. A couple of rainy games, but for the most part, it's been quite pleasant. So I'm kind of curious. These teams having to deal with the fact that it's frosty out there. So.
Unfortunately, both teams, it's going to be first for both probably.
Right,
because
exactly. Yeah, so it should be interesting. A few Elk City names real quick, too. I'll give you just to get people caught up a little bit. Austin Jones, their quarterback. He's a senior, talented kid. Excited to see what he can do out there. Obviously, this is a final go. We see seniors in the playoffs. You know that they're going to lay it all out there. This is all they got for them. A couple more seniors, too. Cooper Patton, he goes both ways for Elk City. He's a running back, defensive back, but it's specifically on the defensive side. He's kind of their go-to defensive player. He's everywhere, kind of a guy. I wouldn't be surprised if we say his name several times tonight. And then one more too. I try to get the big guys up front if I can, because of course of the game, it's easy to overlook them from time to time. But Logan Trevino is a big force for them, almost 300 pounds, senior. If you can find a way to get some pass rush against him, it would be gravy, because for the most part, he's going to shut you down. He's a lot to handle. So we'll see what the Racers are able to do with big Logan Trevino tonight as well. So just about ready to get this going. We're just moments away from getting started. Teams are heading out there for the coin toss. I mentioned 4 of the playoff matchups earlier. The winner of this one will get the winner of Hilldale and McLean next Friday. Obviously, we hope the Racers win. If they do, we'll be there on the Oklahoma Sports Network, as we will the entire run through this Racers postseason. We hope it's a long one. Winner of this will get the winner of Hilldale, McLean, Cushing, Broken Bow, Blanchard, Weatherford. The other side of the bracket, some more familiar names that we're used to. Tuttle's hosting Chickasha tonight. Winner of that one gets the winner of Wagner and Ada. And then in the bottom right corner, you got Poto is hosting Miami tonight. And then Clinton and Bethany are playing, which is 2 teams that Newcastle's also very familiar with. I'm very interested in that one. If you said one game that I'm most interested in outside of ours, and then obviously just Hilldale McLean for the sake of that's who Newcastle would face next, Clinton Bethany. That's fun one on paper. So I'm excited to see what what that one will look like tonight as well. All right, we're going to have the national anthem. We're going to step aside for the anthem. We're going to come back with coin flip, and we'll get you last few things set up here for this ball game. Racers and Elks 4A playoffs. We're getting close on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Sidelined by surgery, illness, injury? Valor Physical Therapy can help. At Valor PT, our skilled therapists create a rehabilitation program individualized for you, with education and encouragement each step of the way. Whether it's sports or the activities of life, let Valor get you back in the game. Start now at 405-265-6449. No referral needed. Mention Oklahoma Sports Network and get a free t-shirt at your first appointment.
It's no secret that life is busy and you have a million things on your to-do list.
Here at Community Bank of Oklahoma, we've made banking simple again.
We can help you get to the important things in life, like the big game tonight.
We do all the heavy lifting, so you don't have to.
Race towards us at Community Bank of Oklahoma, because we wouldn't be a community without you.
Coast Technology Group specializes in audio, video, and lighting for schools, house of worship, home, and business. Work with our team's engineers to design the right system for your conference rooms, video telecommunications, stadiums, auditoriums, video walls, home theater, and automation. Whether your next project is large or small, let our team with over 150 years of combined experience help design the right system with simple, reliable technology.
All right, back here at Big Elk Stadium, Josh Calloway, Gene Reed with you, ready for the playoffs. The Newcastle Racers and the Elk City Elks teams are out there for the coin flips. We'll get our trusty coin flip sponsor there this year, presented by Power Bowls. Power Bowls, 623 Northwest 32nd Street, serving amazing smoothie bowls. Once you first try them, you will be hooked. Find us right in front of Walmart, 12 to 7 Monday through Friday, and 12 to 5 on Saturdays. Power Bowls, the coin flip sponsor this year on the Oklahoma Sports Network for Newcastle Racers football. Gene, let me ask you this. Billy and I do this all the time. We're usually pretty lock and step. What would you do here? Racers win the toss. Are you taking the football, or would you kick it away and trust your defense to start this game?
I would defer. I always say defer, especially when wind is not such a factor. Let the other team choose first. They're going to take the ball. We'll get the ball second half.
Yeah, I'm with you. I like to play defense to start the game, generally speaking. I will say that if I was going to take the ball, it would be in a spot like this on the road in the playoffs. And the Racers won the toss and did actually elect to take the football, believe it or not. So there you go. So it's going to be Racers offense on the field first. And just to finish that thought, that this is the one spot where I would consider taking the ball just because you have a chance on the road to get yourself a quick lead. I mean, that's always really nice on the road in the playoffs, but 99 times out of 100, I'm with you.
I should have waited to give my answer. I would rather be on defense. However, this will be a great night to strike first.
100%. I completely agree with you there. And so that's kind of where I lean with it. I like defense first, but if you're going to do it, this is the spot to do it, in my opinion. So the Racers about to take the field. On the Oklahoma Sports Network tonight, if you want to get a second screen pulled up, it'd be a good night for it as Elk City takes the field here at Big Elk Stadium. We have 6 games on OSN tonight, all playoff action, obviously. This is our only 4A tilt, the Racers taking on the Elks here. We have 4 games in 5A, Midwest City and Piedmont, Carl Albert, Lawton MacArthur, Del City, Bishop Kelly, and Elgin Guthrie are all there for you. We also have Lawton High and Bartlesville in the 6A2 bracket as the Racers take the field. So we have 6 playoff games for you on OSN tonight. So if you want to get a second, get your computer out, whatever, get your phone out, get a second game going, I recommend it. It's a great time of year. The high school football playoffs are awesome, and we're thrilled to get to bring you as many games as we do on the Oklahoma Sports Network. All right, this has been the Countdown to Kickoff presented by Focus Federal Credit Union. One last short break. When we come back, go time. Racers, Elks coming up right here next on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Coast Technology Group specializes in audio, video, and lighting for schools, house of worship, home, and business. Work with our team's engineers to design the right system for your conference rooms, video telecommunications, stadiums, auditoriums, video walls, home theater, and automation. Whether your next project is large or small, let our team with over 150 years of combined experience help design the right system with simple, reliable technology.
All right, back here at Big Elk Stadium, ready to rock and roll. Josh Calloway, Gene Reed. Should be a fun one here tonight on OSN. Playoff action doesn't get much better. The kick is off, and we're playing football. Racers and Elks. Opening kick is fielded by Randy Nix. He'll be wrangled and tackled down just past the 25-yard line or so. That's where the Racers will set up shop. Quarterback, of course, by Mr. Jackson Burt. And we'll see how the Racer offense gets this thing started.
Carson Bolster is going to be in at running back. He often starts off with a single back, and that's what he's going to do today.
So, first down and 10 for Newcastle. They are set up on about the 29. First run up the middle here from Bolster. He'll bounce outside, shimmying around, and he'll get about 3 or 4 yards. That's not a bad first down carry there for Mr. Bolster.
I have a feeling they were looking for him.
It's not a bad guy to be looking for, that's for sure. Apologies for the clock there. We'll get that fixed in just a moment. But it is just getting started here for just tuning in. It's the Racers and the Elks here on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Second down and 6 after that first down run. Fake the handoff here. Burt will fire underneath. Ooh, that was well covered. Try to get out to Alex Logan, but all over it there for the Elks was number 1, Caden Holder, senior defensive back, one of the leaders on this defense. He clamped down Logan there, didn't give him anything.
Well, it's been kind of a bread and butter for the Racers this year, especially the last few games. He hits Logan. He won't be afraid to go back to him again.
Especially saw last week, Alex Logan had that long touchdown off the bubble screen. Like you said, that's a bread and butter type of play for Newcastle. Third down here, run up the middle from Bolster, pushing forward. He'll get across the 30. Going to be short of the marker, though. And this looks like an early 3 and out, barring a fourth down attempt here from Coach Brickman, which that play call would almost suggest that they're thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be 4th down and about 4. It looks like they're at about the 35. Guy get to the 39. Racers offense is staying on the field. Big early moment in this game if the Racers are going to go for it. They might just be looking for the hard count. We know how good they've been at that this year. And that might have been exactly what they were doing as there's whistles here. And a quick timeout taken by Newcastle. I'd be surprised if he, it's so early. It's tempting. Don't get me wrong. It's tempting. But you almost feel like probably punt this and play defense.
Right. And I would have been surprised that the Elks had jumped at that. If anyone who watches any of our film, they've seen other teams bite that.
Yeah.
And so I kind of wish we could have done the same thing without taking a timeout. I love timeouts for more critical times. Yeah. But, and by the way, knowing Coach Brickman, we don't know for sure that he's going to punt yet.
No, we do not. Thank our first quarter sponsor here real quickly. I wait for them to take the field. Community Bank of Oklahoma. They offer a full range of services to suit your banking needs. We have what you are looking for with competitive rates and unequaled service, 2245 North Main Street, Community Bank of Oklahoma. So here, just like you said, Gene, here comes the Racers offense back out on the field. You got to match. They are going to roll the dice here. A big risk taken early by Coach Brickman and the Racers.
He can punt from there.
That's very true. That's very true. We've seen Burt do that a time or two this year. It's a 4-receiver set. No running backs back there with Burt. Actually, 5-receiver set. You got 4 at the bottom, 1 up at the top. Burt takes a snap, and he will just punt it away. It's a line drive. Nobody was back for Elk City. They were playing it safe. So this is going to roll down and be spotted at about the 28-yard line. And that's where the Elks will set up. So a good start for the Elk City defense. They get that quick 3 and out, which is exactly what you want. Mm-hmm. And now they're back. And that's where the risk comes in taking the ball first. Because now you essentially just gave the second half away for close to, you don't want to say for nothing.
Right. And, the fan in me really wanted to see us make that first drive hit pay dirt.
100%.
But now our next desire is to stop this very powerful ground game team. And they seem to have a lot of motion usually in the backfield. Josh, let's look for that.
Really bunched up here. Quarterback by Austin Jones, the senior, number 12. He'll give it up on the first play, run up the right side, bottled up pretty good, although falling forward there for the Elks was big number 6, Alonzo Gino, just a sophomore. He's a H-back, outside linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
That's quite the combination. He's a big kid, just a sophomore, and he's going to be a problem for a while out here in Elk City. So, on that one, give him about 5 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 5 for the Elks. Just getting started here at Big Elk Stadium. Jones, the handoff here. This is back to him. Actually, excuse me. This run up the right side here. This is a pickup for 26. That's Levy Owens. I think he was one on the first carry, too. I didn't quite see that. It was 26 instead of 6. My apologies there. So that's Owens there on that carry. Big fullback. Sets up a 3rd short.
And Owens is a big time. He's got a lot of yards this year, Josh.
Yeah.
So I bet he picks up a lot of takes a lot of the handoffs. It's good to see Lovejoy on that tackle. And guess who was just in the neighborhood? Young.
Yeah. 3rd down and about 3 here. Chance for the Racers to immediately respond with a 3 out of their own. Run up the middle here. Pushing forward. I think he's short. It's actually a friendly spot. I think he's going to have it. Initially, I thought he was just shy. That was 33. Jaden Wynn on that carry, and he just fell forward, and they did give it to him 1st down for the Elks.
He did. He fell down forward at least a yard. Good spot, though. Fair spot. 1st and 10.
Just getting started here. Just about 3 minutes in. Josh Calloway, Gene Reed, Uriah Martinez running the camera for us here at Big Elk Stadium. 4A playoff action on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Great time of year. 1st and 10 here at the 39. Man in motion there. Jones will give it up. This is back to Owens. Hurdles over a guy, and even though this is going to be a thing you're going to watch for as he gets about 5 yards there, it was pretty well defended, but Owens is just a big man. He's able to fall forward and still get good yardage out of it. Second and 5 coming up here for Elk City, up to the 44-yard line. Elk City in the home brown get up with the white helmet. Racers in the road whites with the blue breeches, blue helmets. 2nd and 5. Handoff is faked here. Jones will keep it outside. Run forward, tackle from behind, but I do think he got enough for another 1st down. We'll see what the spot is officially, and they are giving it to him. 1st down for the Elks out near midfield.
Mike Jarko, senior, one of our 5 or 6 seniors on the team. 5 who get a lot of game time. Jarko in on the tackle, but not before he picks up a 1st down.
First down up to the 49-yard line. And you haven't seen even a sniff of a pass just yet for Jones in this Elk City offense. Fake it here. They'll give it up. A little end around misdirection. That's really hard to defend. And loose up the sideline here. This is Cooper Garbarino down the left side into the red zone. Tackle down at the 10. And that play, that little misdirection kind of deception look, got Garbarino loose. And he got a lot of yards out of it. It's going to be 1st and goal for Elk City.
Well, he had a lot of grass to grow, green grass to move on, a lot of open space, and there wasn't a racer near him for about 30 yards.
So down right at the 10, that's where they're set up 1st down and goal. Big opportunity here for the Elks to try and do exactly what we were talking about, which is get off to a good start, get a quick lead, score first. 1st and goal at the 10. Give up. This is Owens, and he's bottled up. Racers were right on that one. Good tackling there. It's going to take more likely than not, it's going to take a couple of guys to get him down, and that's what they did there. Stormer the ball, no gain. So it'll be 2nd and goal from the 10. Here at Big Elk Stadium. 4A playoffs. We thank you so much again for finding us, whether it's on YouTube, Roku, Amazon Fire Stick, Apple TV. Lots of places to find Oklahoma Sports Network. We're thankful you did, however you did. 2nd and goal at the 10 for the Elks. Handoff here given. This is faked, actually. Jones will pitch it outside. Nowhere to go. Tackled in the backfield. Really well done by Caden Phillips. That lost about a yard. And it's going to be 3rd and goal from the 11. And you would think here, Gene, a passing spot. We'll see what Elk City does, though.
Well, yeah. They could, but my guess is they'll stay on the ground. But
and just go for it on fourth.
But
play for 2 downs. Kind of
that's what I'm thinking. But there again, they know, they make their passes work when they do play. That's a good job by Caden Phillips staying outside, not letting them get outside of him. I'm kind of watching Taj Smith and the other interior linemen. They're doing a pretty good job bunching up there in the middle of the line.
3rd and goal from the 11. Handoff given here, bouncing outside. This is Owens. He's got very little room. Flag comes flying in, though. He only got maybe a yard. We'll see what the flag is here. As it stands, it'll be 4th and goal from right at about the 10-yard line. But a big call coming here because, you worry for in the big pile like that, potentially a face mask or something. I didn't see anything obvious, but we'll see what the call is, and it's going to go against Elk City. That's a big hold. And Racers smartly decline it because you're not going to get much better than 4th and goal at the 10. So we'll see what Coach Maynard and the Elks like to do. This is exactly what we were just talking about with Toby Batchelder. Racers probably spotted down and kick it and take 3 in this spot. Elk City, though, looks like they're going to try and roll the dice and see what they can get. Boy, after the way that this drive started, how big would it be for the Racers to find a way to buckle down and keep that goose egg on the board? Big play here. 4th and goal from the 10. Big spot in this game early. Man in motion. Jones fakes it. He'll roll out to pass. He's going to let it fly to the end zone. Got a man. It's caught. Touchdown, Elks. Right there was Mr. Cooper Garbarino. Had the big run on the end around. A well-designed play call results in a touchdown for the Elks. And the first really big swing play of this game goes in favor of Elk City.
It does. And run, and then the pass just works so beautifully.
Yeah, he had a lot of space there. That was as easy of a touchdown toss as Austin Jones is going to have. So Elk City will attempt the extra point here with 46, Brian Gonzalez. Loose on the side here, and he'll fire, and it's tipped and deflected out of bounds. Gene, I'll be honest, I looked down for 1 second, all of a sudden they were scrambling. Was that a fake, or was it a body snap?
It is fake from the beginning.
Fake from the beginning.
I don't think they have confidence in their kicking game at this point, and in looking at their scores and their scoring the last few games, I believe that's their I believe they're going to try the 2-point conversion often tonight. Well, I hope it's not very often.
Elk City on the board first. Elk City is 6-0. Racer get the ball back at the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Team up with Pioneer iVideo and start streaming the most popular TV shows and movies from your favorite devices today. Download the iVideo app and start watching anywhere in your home using Pioneer Internet. Each package includes free high-definition and cloud DVR features like Video on Demand, Restart TV, and Replay TV, just in case you forget to record a program. Visit GoPioneer.com for more details and compatible devices. Some restrictions apply.
Back here at Big Elk Stadium, Josh Calloway, Gene Reed. Elks are on the board first, and this kickoff's going to go right out of bounds. That'll help Newcastle out a little bit. So the Racers' first drive went 3 and out. They then had a couple chances to get off the field there, but Elk City came through the big run on the little end around there play there to Garbarino, and then the touchdown pass on 4th and goal to Garbarino. So Racers, some things to like at the start of this game, but the big 50-50 plays have all gone against them so far. Their 3rd down, a couple of big chances to get stops. We'll see if the Racers can try to recapture that momentum here on their second go at it, where they'll start at the 38. You hate to put too much emphasis on a drive this early, but feels like a big drive for Newcastle here.
It went out of bounds so short that it even
it's a spot foul.
Even better than the 35-yard that usually it is. We're a young team, Josh, and I think as we've matured over the last few games, hopefully they will not let this bother them, and we'll get our game together.
First run from Bolster here, bouncing outside. Doesn't go for a whole lot, maybe a yard or so. And you've seen this year, if you're new to watching the Racers, they will run the football and they will stay committed to it. It's going to take a lot for Newcastle to, get off of what they believe is, their bread and butter, which is running the ball with Bolster between the tackles, mixing in the other running backs. They have 3 or 4 that they really like. they're not going to abandon it after, just a handful of plays. So short run there, 2nd and 9. Burt in the shotgun here. He'll take it. He'll fake it and keep it himself. Up the right side, got some room. Burt cuts back across midfield, first down and then some, past the 45. That's the Racers' best play so far, and the Racers are on the move.
He is not afraid to tuck it and run. That's what we mentioned in our keys to the game, and that can really be a boost to an offense like this.
Big play there for Burt. Gets him all the way down to the Elk City 43, and, for the first time, and again, it's very early. We're 4:15 to play in the first quarter, but first little bit of momentum right now with the blue team here. 1st and 10. Running back next to Burt is Bolser. He'll get it. Bolser got some room running between his blockers, falling forward. He somehow got about 9 yards out of that. I was looking for bodies around the 39, 38. Also, he's up there past the 35. What a run by Bolser.
Which is a good sign of the blocking that continued downfield for him. He even had a blocker 5 yards beyond that, trying to make way for him. So that was a great run. 2nd down and short now. This could be an interesting play coming up right here.
I agree with you. 2nd down and 1. Certainly an opportunity to take a shot if you want. Don't have to, but it's there if you want. 2nd down and 1. He'll stick with Bolser. He's got room. He's free up the right side. Bolser, nobody's going to get him. Touchdown, Newcastle. 34-yard touchdown run by Bolser. He exploded through the line.
He did.
And there was nobody home.
Over that right end, that right side, the right tackle, right side receiver. They got some good blocks in there, and he, like any running back, but if he gets the step, he can be gone.
So Bolser, a 34-yard touchdown run. Wow, I mean, that happened quickly. A couple of big plays, and there they go. And now Toby Batchelder can give the Racers the lead if he can punch this thing through. It's a low-line drive, but it does find its way through. And it's 7-6 Racers with 3:26 to play in the first quarter. Newcastle in the lead. Can they stay that way? We'll find out. Elk offense back on the field next on the Oklahoma Sports Network. All right, back here with you at Big Elk Stadium. Josh Calloway, Gene Reed, 3:26 to play in the first quarter. And the Racers are in front for the first time. 7-6, 34-yard touchdown by Carson Bolser. Batchelder boots the extra point through. And there you go. That's a heck of a response, Gene.
A big answer. Yeah. A big answer, Josh.
Had to have that. And now the Racer defense and trying to keep the momentum going. Kick is away here, fielded inside the 10. Garbarino's going to have to return this after it bounced and just died there. And he does a pretty good job, frankly, to get it out to about the 24-yard line. It's a real grass field out here at Elk City, which is kind of becoming more and more seldom these days. And you kind of saw that there with that bounce. That ball didn't bounce a whole lot.
Right. It is in good shape, this field. Well-striped, well-colored.
For this late in the year, yeah. Sometimes you come out here, and, late in the season, real grass field is just dead brown field.
Right.
But
they've done a good job with it. That's Grady Corbin on that tackle, and, he's a versatile player. He did a good job on that kick coverage. And
so 1st and 10, they gave him the 25 at the yard line, it looks like, so pretty close out to where it would have been on touchback. First down, snap is on the ground. It's still loose, and Jones will get on it. It's about a 3-yard loss, though, and Elk City almost a disastrous turnover there. Racers will take it, though, loss of 3.
I mentioned earlier, this is a young team. We have sophomores and juniors throughout. Only a few seniors are going to be on the field at any given time. These young men are really maturing. They're playing together. They're working together. They're trusting one another, as Billy would say.
3-yard loss. Looks like the Racers may have jumped here, which is, like we said, something we're used to seeing the Racers force, going the other way. And it is going to be a dead ball foul here, jumping off there on the Racers. So 5 yards back. Going to make it second down and 8. Tough mishap there if you got the lucky break on the botched snap. But still in good shape here. Second down and 8 for the Racers. 2:39 to play in the first quarter here at Big Elk Stadium. Jones, the quarterback for Elk City, goes under center. He'll drop back to pass here. There's one pass with a touchdown. He got hit as he throw. This ball is floating, and it will hit the ground. I think they're going to get Shanuel for just grabbing the jersey just a hair on number 1, Caden Holder. Just enough. That's one of those spots, you see it all the time at every level of football, where the ball actually being underthrown worked in favor of the offense there because he got smoked as he threw it, did Austin Jones. But Holder recognized it before Shanuel did and started to come back to it, got some contact, and they're going to call the foul.
Yeah, and I don't believe he would have made it back to the ball.
I don't think so either. So Elk City gets the benefit of a call there, as you almost, after that snap, you felt like Racers had a little bit of an opening, but a couple penalties, and Elk City gets a fresh set of downs up to their own 42. Man in motion, that's Patton. We mentioned him in pregame. Garbarino slides over. Handoff's going to go to Owens, and he lowered
early.
He lowered the helmet, didn't get a lot there, just about a yard or two. That was a good job there by the race. I think that was Rice, 26, who took that initial pop, but didn't let him get too far. 1 yard gain. Brady Rice, not exactly a small guy, but Owens has got some size on him. I mean, he's a big kid, is Levy Owens, but good job by Rice there to kind of stop him in his tracks. Give him about a yard and a half, maybe. Second down and long. 1:47 in counting to play in this first quarter. Handoff here. This is Patton. He goes on the far side. Very similar play to what we saw earlier with Garbarino that went for a lot of yards. And Patton is loose. Cooper Patton all the way for the touchdown. 56 yards on the little jet sweep. Just like we saw Garbarino do earlier, Patton does it. And all of a sudden the points are flying here at Big Elk Stadium.
Maybe coming back.
I didn't see the yellow hanky. Was there a flag out there? You are correct, sir. It looks like this is coming back. I never even saw the penalty. That's my mistake.
I have yet to see it.
Everybody's trotting back. I never saw a signal or anything, but looks like that big touchdown just got wiped out. And now here's your signal, and it's a hold against Elk City. Wow, what a break that is for the Racers, because that was a big momentum swing play back to the home side.
And it really occurred after he had already achieved the line to gain. That's
definitely part of why I didn't see it. Is he was already down the field before it must have gotten thrown. So a big mistake there for Elk City. Backs him back up. It'll be second down, spot foul. Second down and about 7 here. Handoff here is fake. Jones will pitch it out. This is Garbarino. He'll bounce outside Caden Phillips. Oh, what a shoestring tackle by Caden Phillips, who I've said a few times this year with Mr. Collier, probably the unsung hero of the team. I mean, he has been one of the most reliable defensive players for the Racers. You don't always say his name a lot, but that's because he's covering his man really well, Caden Phillips.
Right. One of our seniors, though, and he is really showing leadership throughout the year.
So it'll be third down and 8 after the loss there. We're under a minute to play in the first quarter. The Elk City Elks, the Newcastle Racers on the Oklahoma Sports Network, first round of the 4A playoffs. Jones up to the line. Big opportunity for Newcastle again here. And we have whistles and a timeout taken by Elk City with 44 seconds on the clock. We'll go ahead and stick here through this timeout here. It's right at the end of the quarter. But what a spot this is, Gene, obviously for Newcastle. If they could find a way to get this stop, and then you're looking at, getting the ball back up by a point. I mean, this is a big, one of those kind of big swing points in the early part of a big game.
Josh, you're right. And I've been kind of watching those linebackers. They're not bunching up quite as close to the line as they were before. And I don't know if it maybe is to give them an opportunity to respond to that sweep or that pitch out like we've seen burn them a couple of times. Be able to watch that. But yeah, you're right. This is a pretty big play coming up right here because
it is.
If they can hold them to no gain here, they're pretty sure to punt back.
Big opportunity for the Racers defense, who just had some nice moments, but has also had a couple of busts. You saw it on the patent touchdown, those called back. Big opportunity here for the Racers. And obviously, we learned at this point, you got to watch for those wide receivers coming in motion, getting handoffs and whatnot. 3rd down and 8. Jones under center. He'll drop back to pass. Some pressure in his face from Rice. He'll have to fire, and it's toe tap on the sideline, incomplete. Right there on the sideline, had a good look at it. Official right there on it, had a great view of it. Said he was juggling it out of bounds. I think that was Devin Simmons, number 2, who had a look at it. But they say no catch, and it's going to be 4th down coming up.
Man, he did catch it, and I thought that was going to give it to him, but he must have been, as you said, he was juggling it. That was the call. That's a break.
Yeah, the official was right there on it. Seemed pretty confident in his call. So incomplete pass. Elk City's going to punt. Big stop for the Racer defense. We'll see what they can build on it. The snap is dropped. Pressure in his face, and Garbarino's punt didn't go very far at all because he had to just get rid of it after Randy Nix came barreling in. And now the Racers are going to set up on their own 46. Really good field position now for Burt in this offense.
Yes, and a little bit better luck than last week when 2 kicks went out of bounds.
Oh, yeah.
We could not estimate where they were going to be placed. But that was a good defense. He did fumble the ball a little bit and had trouble handling it, and there were Racers bearing down on him. So, all right, here we go.
Big drive here for Newcastle again. They're all big at this point. 1st and 10 at the 47. Final moments of the first quarter. Bolzer has a little end-around play, and there's nothing there. Elk City crashes down on him. He loses about 3 or 4 yards on that. That was well defended by the Elks. They were totally ready for it.
Well, Nix did wise to pull up because it would have been easier for him to grab hold of that guy, and that would have been a 10-yard penalty from there. So it wasn't pretty, but it could have been worse. And that looks like it's going to bring us to the end of the quarter there.
Not going to snap it again. That's your first quarter. And there it goes. There's your whistles. At the end of 1, it's Newcastle 7, Elk City 6. Racers have the football, trying to add on their lead on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
When it comes to your home, you need someone that you can trust to keep it safe and protected for you and your family.
Vesta Foundation Solutions is your local, family-owned company that has helped many homeowners fix and protect their homes.
Our engineered solutions can take care of all of your foundation repair, basement waterproofing, concrete leveling, and dirt crawl space repair needs.
We take pride in getting the job done right, and you'll always be protected with up to a 75-year warranty.
Contact us today for a free estimate. When it comes to your home, you need someone that you...
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others. Join the fight.
Back here at Big Elk Stadium, first pound second down pass incomplete there. So it's going to be 3rd down and about 13 here. Not what the doctor ordered after that first down run was bottled up. Now that pass goes incomplete. So it'll be 3rd down, like I said, about 13 here. Just getting going on the second quarter on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Burt takes the shotgun snap, back to pass, pressure in his face, will jump it off to Bolzer. Got him in stride. He's got some room, got some blocks. Bolzer makes a guy miss. If he could have made that one more tackler miss, he probably picks that up. Instead, he'll settle for about 10 yards, and it'll be 4th down coming up.
Well, it's just not enough protection for Burt. Even though he did not drop that off to his running back, if he had just a few more seconds, the timing would have worked so much better.
So the Racers still have their offense out. As we know, Burt is more than capable of punting this. He did that earlier. which obviously keeps the Elk City defense honest. And now he's going to back up and punt this, it looks like, and that's exactly what he'll do. Nobody back, so it'll just roll down inside the 10. This is a tremendous punt, and it's going to go down right at the 5. Bobby Burrell gets down there to down it, and Elk City's going to be on their own 5-yard line to start this drive. That's a heck of a punt there by your quarterback.
That's what have flipped the field. Well, Josh, here's the opportunity to see our defense really make a statement.
.11:03 to go in the second quarter. And, yeah, you're right. I mean, Elk City backed way up in their own end. See if they can't find a way to get a big play here. First run, oh, boy. Nothing there. He does get about a yard out of that, maybe. Racers were all over it. That was Owens again on the carry there. That was well done by the Racer defense. They've done a good job, really for Elk City so far. It's just kind of been one of those misdirects and those, little deception type plays that have just kind of fooled them. When it comes just man-to-man, body up your guy, Racers have done a really nice job. Second down. Jones. Fake the handoff. He'll bounce outside. Little option play. He's got some room. Here's Jones coming down the sideline. He's going to get across the 20-yard line. This is going to be a first down for the Elks. And there you go. I mean, a well-designed play. Racers weren't totally ready for it. And Jones runs for the first down himself. Never even had to give it up. He was ready to, just never needed to.
That's right. Yeah, he made the smart move just to keep it. He had Racers chasing him from behind, meeting him eventually from front, but he picked up some good yardage and got out of the hole.
So it'll be first down and 10 for the Elks right out at the 20-yard line as we run under 10 minutes to play in this first half. Jones under center. Man in motion there. That's Patton. Handoff. Who faked once and then given up to Garbarino. Racers did a good job being more ready for it that time, but he still does find a way to slip his way through defenders to get 5 yards out of it.
Wasn't sure who got the tackle, Josh. Young was over there. It looked like Brady Rice.
Yeah.
Several pursued, but...
Tell you what, this Elk City offense is keeping me on my toes. With the fakes and whatnot, you have to really be hawk-eyed in on who actually has the football.
So true. You're doing a good job with it. I blink and I think the brown uniform.
Pitch and it
went backwards.
It went backwards and Garbarino just kicked that out of bounds, which I don't think you
drew
can
a penalty.
Yeah, and they're going to flag that. I had the same thought. We're in the brown uniforms. Ball blends right in.
They use that to their advantage, and plus just the motion in their backfield is tough to see as a defender.
So, yeah, that pitch got away, and then he just kicked it out of bounds, which is a penalty, obviously. I don't think you can do that. It's not something that comes up very often, I'll be honest.
But I know what he was thinking. I'd rather kick it out than let them cover it there. So it's going to be moved back deep. Here's another opportunity.
Yeah, so it's an illegal kick, I guess, is just the best. I don't know if there's a proper term for that flag. That motion is not one you see often. And it's going to back Elk City up. It's also a loss of down. So they're all the way back down to about their own 5-yard line. And they got to get all the way up to the 30. So this is a third down and 25 here for the Elks. Jones under center. I imagine they're going to just try to get as much of this back as they can. Run here. Got some room up the right side. Tackled from behind. It's a good carry, but obviously still well short of the marker. He'll get about 13 of that 25 back. And Elk City will have to punt again. Racer defense buckling down once more. I mean, you had that big play you gave up, to Garbarino. But other than that, it's been pretty good. So it'll be fourth down, and 12. Elks will have to punt it. Shanuel's back to return. We were talking before, before we came on the air. I mean, Jackson Shanuel had that punt return back for a touchdown against Cleveland early in the season. Has had a lot of opportunities since then. He won't have one here. Does a good job, though, to come up and get that ball. And the Racers are set up on the Elk City 41. Can't ask for much better starting field position than that.
Very good.
And the Racers have a chance to build on their lead.
The kicking game hasn't been real favorable for the Elks.
No. It hasn't.
They struggle.
A couple of kind of
miscues,
ugly punts, and certainly your extra point there didn't work out for you. Racers in the special teams category certainly have the edge so far, and that could be all the difference sometimes. So here we go. 1st and 10 for Newcastle. 8:24 to play in the half. Chance to add to their lead. Handoff goes to Bolster up the middle. Runs into his blocker, but he bounces off him. And you have a late flag come flying in way out there near the first down mark. I'm not sure what that's going to be.
I don't either.
Bolster only got about a yard. And we'll wait on the call. Looks like it's going to go against Newcastle.
Had to have been a hold over there, or
it was at a weird spot on the field. Was the only reason I kind of held off for a sack.
Could have been an illegal block, a chop block. The way it came in like that, right when he hit the line of scrimmage.
Still waiting for the official word here. It does look like it's against Newcastle, and there is your hold call. So, hold against the Racers. So far, the penalties have been kind of their biggest nemesis so far. They're matching up with Elk City quite well in a lot of areas, but some untimely penalties have hurt them, and that's certainly one right there. So it's a spot foul. It's not a full 10 yards, but it does lose about 7 as they're all the way back to midfield now. Got to get up to the 33, 32, somewhere in there. So that's where Newcastle sets up. This is still 1st down. Burt in the shotgun. Logan right there at the bottom of your screen right in front of us. Burt takes it. Back to pass. Got a good clean pocket. He's going to go deep. He's got a man down there, and he just overshot him. A little too much air into that football as Shanuel was free up the sideline. Had just about a step on his man. If he put it right on him, he probably had a shot, but wasn't a ton of room there. So it goes incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, I was expecting him to get down the field a little faster than that. He was stride for stride, a step ahead of the kid. That would have been a beauty if that landed in his reach.
So it'll be 2nd down here in 18. Burt will keep it. Goes up the left side, bouncing off. Does a good job just to fight for what he can get, which is about 5, and it'll be 3rd down and call it 13 or so here. Got to imagine this point of the field, you're probably going to go for it on 4th down if you can get to a manageable. So you don't necessarily need all 13 right here if you're Newcastle. If you can get 6 or 7, got to think Jeff Brickman likes his chances at this part of the field. Maybe a punt, but certainly you think about it if you can get enough here. So you don't necessarily need all 13 here. 7:19 and counting to play in this first half. Racers on top 7-6. First round of the 4A playoffs. Burt in the shotgun. 2 receivers at the bottom, 2 at the top. Running back next to him is Bolser. Burt back to pass. He'll dump it off to Bolser. Trying to get as much back as they can here. He'll cut back. Runs into his own blocker a little bit there. And he won't get a whole lot. Just about a 3-yard pickup. Pretty much to the original line of scrimmage. So it's going to be a 4th down and about 10. And we'll see how Coach Brickman wants to play this here.
Josh, something I've been looking for, I was really glad to see number 2, Aiden Schumard, in at receiver. He has missed a few games due to an injury. He could be one of those impact players.
Yeah.
He's caught some passes. He's has excellent hands, and he may.
So it's 4th down and 10. Looks like Burt's going to back up and punt this again. And now we have whistles and a timeout taken by Newcastle with 6:22 to play in the first half.
I bet Coach Brickman wants to think about this. It's not like he's a big-time gambler, but he will play his odds pretty well. And this may be an opportunity for him to think it through.
Yeah, 100%. Would you go for it? Your defense is playing well. I think I would kick. 4th and 10. I mean, like I said, your defense is playing well. You had the one bust that resulted in essentially getting them down to the goal line and they punched it in. But other than that, I mean, for the most part, the Racers have done a really nice job loading the box and not really letting Owens get loose. I mean, they've done a pretty good job, I think, at this point.
I think you're right.
Your D.
And as I thought about it, Josh, Excuse me. I think I would kick it because you could probably get it either out of bounds or get it short of the goal line. Even if it goes into the end zone for a touchback, they've got it at the 20. I think you can beat that. So I would rather see him kick it here.
I'll tell you what, this game is definitely playing like a cold weather game as Batchelder comes out to punt this. So they are going to the more traditional punt. This game is definitely playing like a cold weather game. I mean, it's been a lot of running the football, not a lot of points on the board. So far, it's looking like playoff November cold weather football. Punts away here and fielded.
He avoided 2 tackles.
Tackle down there. That was a solid return by the Elks' Cole Bowie, sophomore there. Nicely done. And the Elks will come out and set up shop with 6:13 to play in this first half, just inside their own 20. So Racer defense, like we said, has been doing a good job. Had that one bust on the first drive that resulted in getting down to into the goal line. They still got them to a 4th down, but they scored on the touchdown toss. We'll see if they can keep the momentum going and try to get to this, get their offense one more look before halftime.
He did a good job getting them back to the 20-yard line, and now they've got 80 yards ahead of them. We'll see if we can slow them down.
Jones under center, man in motion there is Bowie. Handoff is given up. This is Owens, I believe, running for New England. Good job just to kind of carry some guys ahead for 8 yards.
Wow.
2nd and short coming up. It'll be 2nd down and 2 after the first down run from Owens. As we cross the midway point of the second quarter, game moving along quickly with all this running the football, keeping that clock ticking, which isn't necessarily a bad thing for Newcastle. On the road, the later it gets and stays close. Nervous energy in here, things like that. Owens bounce outside, falls forward for a first down across the 30-yard line, and the Elks have a fresh set.
Well, their offensive line has done a good job. They're not just blowing our line back, but they are managing.
Yeah. Haven't had a chance to thank our second quarter sponsor yet, Contemporary Family Dentistry. We want to make sure to get them in there. I'll tell you about them after this next snap. But our second quarter sponsor, Contemporary Family Dentistry. 1st down and 10 here for the Elks. Jones under center. Man in motion is Bowie. Handoff given. This is Owens again. They're continuing to ride their big man. He'll run forward for a gain of about 5 or 6 more. Elks are on the move here. Contemporary Family Dentistry, their mission is to deliver quality dentistry and cultivate relationships, but providing big practice benefits with a little practice feel. Call them today and set up an appointment. 405-387-9300. Contemporary Family Dentistry, our second quarter sponsor here tonight for the Newcastle Racers and the Elk City Elks. Josh Calloway, Gene Reed. Thank you so much for finding us however you did. Playoff action on OSN. Great time of year. And this game has all the makings early of one that's going to go right down to the wire. 2nd down. Fumbled snap. Jones picks it back up, hands it to Owens. He's not going to get much of anything, maybe a yard or maybe 2, depending on where the ref puts it down. That's one of those plays where it feels like the snap kind of threw off the whole timing of the play.
It did. Otherwise, Josh, they're having success really in either direction. They've skirted around left end, gone over left guard, left tackle. Now this drive, they've gone over right guard, right tackle pretty effectively. You just got to give a tip of the hat to their offensive line.
3rd down and short here for the Elks. See if they can pick this up, or if the Racers can find a way to force a decision for Coach Maynard. Play clock is ticking down here, and I think Elk City had to burn a timeout. And that's exactly what they did. So Elk City takes the timeout. That is their second, so each team with 1 left with 3:36 to play in this first half. Timeout on the field. We'll go ahead and take it with them here on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Racers lead the Elks 7-6, late second quarter.
At CFD, our mission is to deliver quality dentistry by providing big practice benefits with a little practice feel. Since 2008, we've updated our look, technology, and have added new smiles to our tenured staff to better care for you right here at home. Convenience for you is one of our biggest goals, and we often provide same-day treatment to minimize your time off work. We are open Monday through Friday to serve you. Visit cfdok.com for details. We look forward to seeing you at our big little practice.
Back here at Big Elk Stadium, Josh Calloway, Gene Reed on a really cold Friday night in Elk City, but we're enjoying it. We're in the comfort of the press box here, and we're bringing you playoff action. Good stuff. The Racers and the Elks so far, very competitive game. Could go either way, certainly, and we'll see what happens here in the rest of the way. This is a big third down for the Elks right here. Third down and about 2 on their own 40. Real bunch in. It's like a goal line situation. QB sneak with Jones. I don't think he got it.
I don't think he did.
He didn't go much of anywhere. He got maybe a half yard, but that was not going to get there. It's going to be 4th down, and now here comes a decision for Coach Maynard and the Elks. This is a big roll of the dice moment for Elk City at home, because you can go for this and feel good about picking up, a yard, but if you don't, you're giving Newcastle a short field with still plenty of time to work with. Big spot here.
Bragging about their offensive line. Kudos to the Racer line on that one. They did not budge.
Oh, yeah. So here we go. I think Elk City's going to go for it, unless it's a trying to get him to jump spot, but we'll see. They only have one timeout left. 4th down, man in motion's Garbarino. They'll run it with Owens.
Big guy.
Right side, and he does just enough to pick it up. First down out to the 45. That's one of those, you get Owens a full head of steam. I mean, good luck stopping him from getting at least a yard.
Again, right over that right tackle. That made the difference. They tried up the middle.
Yeah, that's Logan Trevino. We talked about that, in the pregame. Big senior, and that's going to be the guy. In the big spots, you run it behind that guy. And you saw it there. First down out to the 44 is where they spot it. So Elk City gets a fresh set. Maynard rolls the dice, and it pays off. Elk City on the move. Jones back under center. Handoff given up here. This is Owens again, and, I've said this a few times, but not a lot there, and he finds a way to get 4 or 5. That's just being big and powerful, and that initial contact's not going to just stop you in your tracks when you're got the athleticism with the size combination that he has.
Jarko on good tackle there. He got down low enough, but he really prevented a much larger gain. Good tackle by Jarko, but also a good 4 yards picked up by the big running back.
Under 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Elk City not really in too much of a rush, and they might want to pick it up soon. Clock is starting to become a little bit of a factor for them. Handoff is given. This is Patton. Got some room, and a nice tackle there by Burchett. Saved what had the feeling and the look of potentially a really big play. He bottles them up. It's going to be 3rd down and real short. And again, Elk City's going to want to pick up the pace a little bit here. They only got about 90 seconds now to play in this first half. They've shown that they're not really in love with any sort of a kicking game. So they're gonna have to go for a big chunk here at some point, or really speed it up. We'll see how they play it. 3rd down and 1. Garbarino, the man in motion there. Handoff given up to Owens. He's bottled up. He may have muscled his way there. It's gonna be really close.
Well, left foot, right foot. Hopefully it's left foot from the other guy.
Yeah, it is.
It's not.
They went ahead and gave it to him. I'm surprised that, I thought we might have a measure situation, but they gave it to him. Clock keeps moving, though. And they run under a minute now. And they're still at the 46-yard line, which, when you have an offense like Elk City's, run the ball, don't really kick. I mean, that feels like a lot. So we'll see what they do. Only one timeout. Racers, right now, keep everybody in front of you. You can live with short gains right now. Hand off to Patton on the end around. Got some room. He's got some space. Patton cuts back. This is a nightmare for Newcastle. Patton scores. 46-yard touchdown. Exactly what you couldn't have happen. And the Elks are back in the lead. So Elk City jumps in front, 12-7. The 46-yard touchdown on the jet sweep by Cooper Patton. It was shaping up really nicely for Newcastle there, but obviously the big play, which he just couldn't have, and the Elks jump back in the lead right before the half.
That young man felt it as soon as he hit about the first 5 yards. He had his view on the lane he was going to take. Good cut. Second cut. Just virtually walked in.
2-point conversion try here with Jones. Patton runs up. Jones will roll out to throw. Pressure in his face. He'll fire. And that was caught. 2-point is good. Great catch there by number 40, I believe that is, Cameron Olafson, just a freshman. Got loose up the right side and caught it right at the goal line.
And I believe there was good coverage there. I believe that's Rex Heskew, and he was all over him, but the kid caught it, fell right in for the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, Jones there wasn't a whole lot of room there. He just kind of slipped it in. A good catch right at the goal line. And the Elks now lead by a touchdown. Boy, that's really tough. Especially, Newcastle. Elks get the ball start the second half. I mean, going back to what we were talking about earlier about kicking or deferring. And, you were in such good shape seemingly to get to the half with the lead. Instead, the big play. And now, like we said, Elks get the ball start the second half. So we'll see how aggressive the Racers are. Only 37 seconds and just the one timeout. But certainly a gut punch way to close out this first half. Stick with us at halftime, by the way. Gene and I will give our takeaways from the first half. We'll step aside. We'll have the bands perform here at Big Elk Stadium. You can watch that here on this very stream, and then we'll be back in 20 minutes or so and get you ready for the second half and dive in. We'll also look at some scores around the 4A playoffs tonight. So stick with us. Halftime report coming up here shortly. This kick is just fluttering. It goes right out of bounds at the 45. Now you might think about trying to, one or two big plays.
Absolutely.
And get Batchelder a look.
I think they're going to get it in Elk territory.
It went out of bounds right at the Newcastle 45-yard line. So, you're not far away from a reasonable field goal try. Of course, Bert's got the big arm. A couple of guys who can certainly get loose, maybe fire one deep, see if you can't come through with a big play of your own. We'll find out here in just a moment.
So they didn't step it off after the...
Went out of bounds at the 47, looks like.
Yeah.
I think it's just spot foul.
I guess so.
After
that, beyond the 35.
Yeah. So here we go, first down and 10. Burt will fire out to Logan. He's got some room to work with there. The block in front of him is Shanuel. He's tackled at the 45. Inbounds. Clock will keep running here. Got to get up and go. You're down to 25 seconds, just the one timeout, and they'll take it. So Newcastle takes the timeout, 25.7 seconds.
Boy, he needed that downfield block.
He was really close to breaking that into something very significant. And on top of that, obviously, tackled inbounds, forcing you to use that timeout.
Wow.
Tough break there a couple of ways for Newcastle. But still in good shape, 46-yard line. You don't have any timeouts now, but clock will obviously stop momentarily on a first down to move the chains so you can rush up there and try to spike it. If you get into that kind of situation, we'll see how this plays out. Obviously, first priority needs to be trying to get out of bounds. But you still have time to play with here. So we'll see how they approach it. Burchett and Logan, the two receivers at the bottom. Got one up at the top. Oh, and that's going to be a false start there. It's actually Shanuel, not Burchett. And he got a little bit of a head start. And it's going to back him up back across the 50. That's a tough penalty there. A couple of just, it feels like Newcastle's been right in this game. They've certainly hasn't been a wide gap between these two teams, but just a couple of untimely mistakes have hurt them. The two big plays for Elk City offensively, some untimely penalties that have hurt Newcastle drives. A lot of game left.
Right. Hopefully halftime they'll be able to recenter and get that coverage down, get those backs where they need to be.
Fire pass is called by Shanuel, and he does get out of bounds. That's going to be a first down and out of bounds right at the sticks at about the 43-yard line. They haven't given it to him just yet. Now they do. So it's a first down, and he got to have to stop it. That's a big play there. The clock holds at 21 seconds. Burt in the shotgun. He'll take it. Back to pass again. Fire to the sideline again. He's got him again. That's Shanuel caught out of bounds. At the 35.
Clock did not stop.
Clock should have stopped, and they will correct that.
Hopefully they will.
Yeah, you got to add some time. It went down to 12. It was 21 before, so it should be about 18, maybe 17 at the lowest. They're signaling up our way here at the press box. It's like 16 is what they were A lot of shouting up here. 16 seconds. It was funny. That exchange. I don't think I've ever heard the public address. Obviously, this is your foray. Have you ever just asked the officials like that over the?
You try to avoid it,
and he gets the job done.
Yeah, usually, usually they'll call one of the coaches up, but when they're right in the midfield right now, you can usually read their signal.
Bert's gonna fire deep down the sideline. Got a man down there, and he just overshot him. Incomplete. Racing down that side. That was Shanuel again, who's been a big part of this drive. And now you're down to 8.5 seconds. Still probably time for another play if you get out of bounds. Certainly anything other than that.
That would have made halftime a lot more fun.
Yeah. So you have 8.5 to play in this first half. This is where if you're Elk City, you're thinking exactly what I just said, which is anything in the field, and this half's going to be over. So you just can't get anybody over the top and protect those sidelines as well. So we'll see how the Racers go about this, if they try to squeeze 2 plays or if they just want to take a shot now. And Elk City smartly takes time out and says, we'll talk about it. I mean, hey, can't take it with you. Might as well use it. Make sure we're all on the same page. No coverage busts or anything like that.
Bert had a few seconds. I mean, he had some time there.
He's had a few really clean pockets. Yep. Yeah, I think it's just you get out there. It is pretty windy out there. You can see the flags are whipping around and stuff. Pretty good in the end zones. It's cold. Obviously, I'm sure he doesn't have a great grip on the ball. Things like that make it challenging this time of year. I think a shout out to the Racer contingent here, by the way. There's a pretty good amount of Racer fans that made the jaunt. Again, like we said, not close exactly out here in Elk City, but shout out to the ones who did brave the trip, and those who didn't. We hope you're watching, obviously, certainly on the Oklahoma Sports Network. If you tuned in late, Billy Collier out this week, had another obligation, so we have Gene Reed, the legendary public address voice of Racer football, filling in for him. If the Racers win, which we certainly hope they do, Billy will be back next week in the quarterfinals. But got some work to do to get there right now, down by a touchdown, nearing half. Burt back to pass. Looks like they're going to take one more shot down the middle here. Looking for Logan, incomplete. The clock stops with 4 seconds, so there's still a little bit of time for one more play. If the Racers want it, it's 4th down, obviously, but it doesn't really matter because it's going to be the last play of the half either way. So 4th down, again, it's 4th and 2. It's pretty much irrelevant. They're at the 35-yard line. Certainly close enough to take a shot, maybe get lucky with a penalty. We'll see what happens here. If not, we're going to halftime where the Elks ahead by a touchdown. Last play of the half. Burt takes it, back to pass. He'll fire it over the middle. He's got his man. He'll pitch it off to Burchett. That was Shane who caught the initial pass. Burchett bouncing off some defenders. It was a good thought.
Good try.
Good pick up there, but obviously comes up short of the end zone, and that'll end the first half here at Big Elk Stadium. So at the end of 2 quarters, it's the Elk City Elks 14, the Newcastle Racers 7. We'll take a timeout here real quick. We'll come back. Gene and I will dive into our first half takeaways, and we'll step aside, let the bands perform, and we'll have the second half for you here in just a little bit. Halftime report up next right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
At CFD, our mission is to deliver quality dentistry by providing big practice benefits with a little practice feel. Since 2008, we've updated our look, technology, and have added new smiles to our tenured staff to better care for you right here at home. Convenience for you is one of our biggest goals, and we often provide same-day treatment to minimize your time off work. We are open Monday through Friday to serve you. Visit cfdok.com for details. We look forward to seeing you at our big little practice.
Sidelined by surgery, illness, injury? Valor Physical Therapy can help. At Valor PT, our skilled therapists create a rehabilitation program individualized for you, with education and encouragement each step of the way. Whether it's sports or the activities of life, Let Valor get you back in the game. Start now at 405-265-6449. No referral needed. Mention Oklahoma Sports Network and get a free t-shirt at your first appointment.
It's no secret that life is busy and you have a million things on your to-do list.
Here at Community Bank of Oklahoma, we've made banking simple again.
We can help you get to the important things in life, like the big game tonight.
We do all the heavy lifting, so you don't have to.
Race towards us at Community Bank of Oklahoma, because we wouldn't be a community without you.
Coast Technology Group specializes in audio, video, and lighting for schools, house of worship, home, and business. Work with our team's engineers to design the right system for your conference rooms, video telecommunications, stadiums, auditoriums, video walls, home theater, and automation. Whether your next project is large or small, let our team with over 150 years of combined experience help design the right system with simple, reliable technology.
All right, back here at Big Elk Stadium, where we're at the half right now. It's the Newcastle Racers 7, the Elk City Elks 14 at the end of 2 quarters. Certainly a competitive game. Josh Calloway, Gene Reed here with you. You know, obviously, Gene, we talked about it a little before we went to half there, but it feels like Newcastle's really they're certainly right in the game. Obviously, it's a one-score game, but they were close to having a bigger lead than they did, and then a couple of big defensive breakdowns have resulted in the 2 Elk City scores, because otherwise Newcastle's defense has been pretty solid. It just feels like you're disappointed to be down a touchdown because they feel like you played better.
Sure. And hopefully the coaches will help them feel better than I feel as a fan, because I feel kind of down right now because I feel like we could have done so much more, and I'm really down because of those 2 big plays. So if I feel that way, I know the players are feeling that way, but I have a feeling Coach Brickman and the other coaches and the leaders on the team, one another will pick each other up. They are very much in this game, 100%. And you just get the feeling that our offense will start gaining more first downs, gain yardage, keep the ball, and keep it out of the hands of the Elks.
100%. Certainly anybody's ball game. It's going to be a really fun second half. I know that. On a cold night in Elk City, boy, we were just looking in the timeout at the Piedmont Midwest City game, which is on the Oklahoma Sports Network, by the way. It's a blizzard. It's an absolute blizzard.
It's hard to believe.
It's unfathomable. If you haven't seen that, pull that up on OSN. If you have not seen that, it's unbelievable that that's happening in the same state as that we're in right now. So hopefully that doesn't come over here. I don't want any part of that. So Elk City up on Newcastle 14-7. We'll we'll step aside. We're gonna let the bands perform here. You can watch those performances, and we'll be back in about 15 minutes or so. We'll give you some scores, and we'll dive into the second half of action here from Big Elk Stadium. So don't go anywhere. Stream stays up. Watch the bands. We'll be back in 15 minutes, Gene and I, for the second half.
Good job. Where is it? Right. I can't remember how we scored. How did we score? We scored. Yep, we scored. You got 7 points. I can't remember how we scored.
I didn't even know we scored.
Tell me specific. 14-7.
I didn't even know we scored.
Doctor, go on and how did we score? Got pretty fast.
We have had a set the keys turned into the press box on a lanyard. The lanyard says MMA Universal Technical Institute. A set of keys turned into a lanyard. Please collect them with the press box. Thank you.
There's some older ones outside.
Where are you going?
It's so good in here.
There's boys. Yeah. I mean, I don't think you can do that. Lower octane. Nobody knows, but point it out. I know you can do that with sound systems, but that would help me a lot. Be a baritone voice.
final 3 winners for Valley Games. Leading the third, playing their friends on Monday. We've got Josh Elkers here in Elk City. And
Big Elk Stadium. Newcastle Racers and the Elk City Elks just getting ready to start the second half in just a moment here. Josh Calloway, Gene Reed here with you. Third quarter just about a minute or so, about a minute and a half away from getting started. We'll give you some scores from the 4A playoffs here while we wait to get back to action. Like we mentioned earlier, the winner of this one will get the winner of that Hilldale and McLean tilt. That game kicked off at 7:30, so we're going to be kind of trailing them throughout the night. Don't know if we'll have a final on that one whenever we go final, but it'll be close. Right now, Hilldale, I got 16-0 on top of McLean. So right now, the winner of this game looks like it'll be taking on Hilldale whenever we get there next week in the quarterfinals. So we'll see how that shakes out. To be determined on where that game is. I was in the impression it would be on the road for Newcastle. Gene, we were talking before we came on the air that there was some talk that Newcastle might host that game.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put it this way. I'm hazy on where it would be.
Right.
I don't know for sure one way or the other. So we'll find out if we get there. But right now it looks like Hilldale is in control on McLean right now, 16-0. Elsewhere, we mentioned Blanchard hosting Weatherford tonight. It's a barn burner out there right now. The Lions lead the Eagles 7-6 at the half. In that one, Poto big on top of Miami, 27-7. Clinton and Bethany, you mentioned that game was really interesting. The Red Tornadoes 20-6 on top of the Broncos right now. So as it stands, Clinton looks like they're going to knock Bethany out. We'll see, though. So a lot of game left to go there. Cushing all over Broken Bow, 34-0. So they're going to stay undefeated. Tuttle rolling Chickasha 27-0. Wagner doing their thing against Ada is 24-0 in that one. So that's your 4A playoff bracket right now. Going to be interesting to see how all this shakes out and what matchups we're given next week. Obviously, we certainly hope that Newcastle is among those matchups for next week, but we have 2 full quarters to decide that. So, Gene, as we get ready to start this second half, where are you at? I mean, what's your thought? What's your key here? What needs to happen for Newcastle to turn this around?
Well, for me, it's offense. I mean, I'm not so bummed out that Elk City has 14 points on the board. They're going to score. We knew that. I knew that we could, we've got a good defense. We should be able to keep them in check, and we basically have 2 big plays. They burned us. They've got points on the board. What I want is for us to get points on the board. I wanted to see a little bit more enthusiasm and the energy from our players, and sure enough, Josh, when they came out, they did bunch up down there on about the 30-yard line, 15-yard line to 20-yard line, bunched up together, jumped, kind of moved around. Yeah. And so here we go on the kickoff. We'll see if that energy can show itself.
Toby Batchelor boots it away. It'll be a touchback. Elk City, again, like we mentioned right at the top, Newcastle won the toss, and took the football. So Elk City gets the ball to start the second half in this third quarter. Third quarter presented by Chasing Ellie Boutique. They have so many amazing gifts, and they offer free gift wrapping as well. Chasing Ellie Boutique now with 2 locations. Check them out in Newcastle at 2191 North Main, and make sure to check out their latest fashions on their Facebook page as well. Chasing Ellie Boutique, our third quarter sponsor tonight here on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Thank you however you found us. Second half getting going here. This is the first round of the 4A playoffs, the Newcastle Racers and the Elk City Elks on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Josh Calloway, Gene Reed with you from a very cold but not yet snowy Big Elk Stadium. That's happening around the state right now. Thankfully, it hasn't hit us just yet out here. Second half underway. Jones handoff to Owens, and there is nothing there at all. Racers bottle that up in a big way. And that's what they've done more often than not. They've done a really good job at those kind of just between the tackles runs of getting off their block and stuffing it. It's been kind of that end-around jet sweepy type stuff that's really been the bigger bugaboo so far.
That did follow their big right tackle,
Logan Trevino.
But the Racers plucked it up. We got the wind to our back. They have the wind to their face. Wind's hardly a factor for this running team. The biggest factor right now is just the cold temperature that comes with that mild wind that's blowing right now.
You feel the hits a little extra right now. Trick play here.
That should be
down
offensive.
The sideline.
That had to be penalty on offense.
And Phillips was wrapped up there with Caden Holder. There was a lot of contact there as they were really jockeying on that trick play there that resulted in a pass from Cole Bowie. We'll see what the call is there. You felt pretty good that it would be offensive.
Well, I know definitely the white shirt was pulled out about 3 yards. But I don't know if I saw anything happen before. I mean, I didn't see anything happen before that. He didn't receive the call here, but it should be offensive pass interference.
Be interesting to see if it is how Newcastle approaches it. You have 3rd and 10 as the play stands. So would you take it and back them up, or be content with 3rd and 10?
No.
And it's on Newcastle. Wow. So it goes against the Racers. You can see some frustration there.
I cannot understand that.
So the penalty goes against Newcastle, and yeah, you can see Randy Nix kind of throwing his hands up, saying, how?
When I watch this game tomorrow morning, I'll probably realize something different. But Kate Phillips had his jersey pulled and held him back from going for the ball. That's just really an unfortunate call.
Yeah, tough call there. Goes against the Racers, resulted in a first down for Elk City up to the 35. You're looking at 3rd and 10 as that play stood. So that's a big call, a big swing there. That gets the Elks a fresh set of downs. And if you're Newcastle, obviously nothing to do about it now. Got to flush it and
Tosh Smith is another flag. Tosh Smith was cheering up and patting all the defensive backs, cheering them up, encouraging them. But I don't know why the flag.
Yeah, I don't know. That was very strange. I mean, a completely dead ball, and I haven't seen any signal or anything actually being marked off. We're off to a strange start. This also has been the longest gap between plays maybe in the history of football. I'm not sure why the hold-up here.
For one thing, I'm sure Coach Brickman is bending the official's ear about that
correct.
Previous call.
Yeah, on that far side, Coach Brickman is chatting with the head official, trying to get an explanation. Perhaps, we're just about that last call, but that's the delay here.
But that doesn't explain why the official back deep in Racer backfield, defensive backfield, would have thrown his flag unless he wasn't aware of that other transaction. We saw that happen a couple of weeks ago. A flag was thrown, and all that time, Bethany's coach was speaking to the official. So now looks like
So Coach Brickman returns to the sideline, and now looks like we're just about ready to get back to action. That was probably the longest delay I've seen for just discussing a call.
Exactly.
That was interesting. So
the flag was picked up.
After all that, 1st and 10 at the 35. Jones, handoff, goes to Owens around the right side, got some room, lowers the shoulder,
hit.
Got popped right there at about the 40. Still does get about 5 yards out of it, as per usual for Levy Owens. But
Brady Rice, Carl Young, good hit. Good gain, 6 yards. 2nd and, what do you say, Josh?
About 5, yeah, maybe even 4. You get just past the 40 there, it looks like. Friendly spot. So this is a big drive, obviously. I mean, if you're the Racers, you really don't want to go down 2 scores on the road in the second half in the playoffs. But, you deal with the hand you're dealt. But you still got a long way. And, again, like we said, Elk City doesn't really have much of a kicking game. So you got a lot of room to play with right here. 2nd down, handoff goes to Owens around the outside.
Boy, he's tough.
He is, just bouncing off Racer hits. He does come up short of the sticks, but not by a lot. It'll be 3rd down and about 1.
Contact was made behind the line of scrimmage, but he just bulled his way forward.
And that first guy rarely gets him down, and he's one of those. It's a cliche, but it applies to Mr. Owens. Big 26, the senior fullback linebacker. He's listed as the fullback. He's really more of a running back the way he's been used tonight. He's gotten a lot of carries. 3rd down and about 1 here. Got to imagine he's going to get the ball here, barring some trickeration. There he goes with it. Right side, lowers the shoulder, and he'll fall forward for about 3 or 4. And that'll be a 1st down for the Elks out near midfield. And right now, in the early stage of this second half, it feels like Newcastle needs something big to kind of get the momentum on their side, get the juice flowing on their sideline a little bit. Because right now, Elk City's up by a score and they're running the ball well, and just it feels like you're a little down right now. You need something to swing it.
Number 55, Maddox Birdsong. We've been seeing him in on quite a few of the plays today. They've stacked that line pretty tight. Oh,
and around, ball's on the ground, and it's recovered by Newcastle. Right on cue. There's your big swing of momentum. And the fumbled handoff, and Jovan, was it your guy?
55. 55.
You Tony Romo that.
Yeah.
You just totally predicted that.
Very good.
Call your shot, Gene Reed.
Good
so
job.
A massive turnover, and I mean, not to bring myself into it, but just what I was saying. I mean, you needed something to turn the momentum, and there it is, a huge turnover.
Now let's see some energy on this offensive line.
You saw the racer sideline really explode on that. 1st and 10 at the 45. Here we go. Handoff goes to Bolser, left side. Wow. Took a big shot there. He does get about 3 yards out of it first, but that was a good hit.
Guess who? Number 7, Patton.
Patton, who was, we mentioned him in pregame, was a little quiet in that first quarter, but then had the big touchdown run in the second. And started to make his presence known on the defensive side here in the second half. Under 9 minutes to play in the third quarter, 14-7 Elk City, first round of the 4A playoffs. Jackson Burt in the shotgun. One receiver at the top, one at the bottom. Man in motion there, that's Logan. Burt takes it, handoff, giving up to Bolser again, up the middle, pushing across inside the 40. He's wrangled down, maybe right at the 40. It'll set up a 3rd down and about 5 here. And like we mentioned earlier, Newcastle's not going to get away from the run game. That's what they do. It paid off with their 1 touchdown in this game, the long run from Bolser. Now we have an injured Elk down on the field. That will need some attention.
Josh, what we've not seen yet is any rotation of the running backs.
You are correct. We talked about that a lot in pregame as well, how, that's really a big advantage for the Racers is their depth in the running back spot because, and you saw it last week perfectly against Bethany. I mean, just always having that fresh guy.
Exactly, and not that they need to rotate Bolser out of there. I mean, he is our guy.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit of Corbin coming in, maybe T.J. Bradford. I mean, you got like thunder and lightning there to add to the dimension that Bolser.
We'll go ahead and step aside here while they attend to the injured Elk on the field here. Hopefully he's all right and they can get him some attention. We'll step aside real quick and be right back.
When it comes to your home, you need someone that you can trust to keep it safe and protected for you and your family.
Vesta Foundation Solutions is your local, family-owned company that has helped many homeowners fix and protect their homes.
Our engineered solutions can take care of all of your foundation repair, basement waterproofing, concrete leveling, and dirt crawl space repair needs.
We take pride in getting the job done right, and you'll always be protected with up to a 75-year warranty.
Contact us today for a free estimate.
Back here at Big L Stadium, you see him coming off the field right there. That's 56, Trace Decker, the senior offensive and defensive lineman there. Was assisted off the field. He's obviously very hobbled there. Hopefully he's okay.
Third down play.
Nothing major. Josh. 3rd down and 5 here. Bolser gets the handoff up the middle and he runs to a brick wall. Didn't go much anywhere. Elks are pointing that they have a football. I didn't see it come out, but certainly a better position than me. Looks like it is still Racer football, but it is 4th down. So it'll be 4th down and call it 4 or so. And we'll see what the Racers do. That was a play call that would suggest to me that they're going to think about going for this.
And look who he brought in, number 24. Corbin.
Yeah, great Corbin. Haven't seen Corbin tonight or T.J. Bradford, the freshman running back. Seldom Randy Nix. See what they do here. A big play. 4th down and 4. Logan the man in motion. Burt takes a snap. They're going for it. Fake the handoff. Fire in the flat. Pass is wide of the mark. And incomplete. Try to get out to Randy Nix. So there might have been some miscommunication potentially there. I'm not sure. Nix got up kind of looking confused at why that transpired the way it did, but it's an incomplete pass, and the Racers can't capitalize on the big turnover.
Boy, that hurts. That happened so quickly. I mean, look, the plan was to hit him fast, but it just didn't have time to develop.
So the Elks will take over offensively. Definitely it feels like a big missed opportunity there for Newcastle to try and get that big swing back to their side. Still a ton of game left here, but missed chance there, no doubt about that. So Elk City takes back over on their own 39-yard line, 1st and 10. with 7:48 to play in the third, up by a touchdown. Handoff, and nothing there at all. Taj Smith, the first man there, completely swallowed him up. A few other guys in there as well.
Yeah, Nix.
Saw Jarko flying in, Caden Phillips in there as well, but Taj Smith, the big man, laid that initial lick.
Well, I'm surprised they gave him a yard, Josh, but looked to me like he stopped suddenly, and they did push him back a little bit. So he probably got that yard, but not much more.
Second down and 9 coming up here. Racers again, I'm beating a dead horse, but they've done a great job at stopping those runs between the tackles. It's only been around the outside that have given them trouble. Here it is. Jet sweep to Cooper Patton, and he'll get pushed out of bounds. There's a good job there by Shanuel to get around that corner and save that from being a really big play again. Still a good pickup, though, for Elk City, and it sets up a third down and short. Call it about a yard. Coming up here for the Elks at the 48, got to get to the 49. So big third down here coming up once again.
That's been their money play.
It has. Those little jet sweeps. The first one, to Gabarino earlier, and then or Garbarino, I should say, and then, of course, the touchdown with Cooper Patton. Third down and 1. Here's Owens right side, and he's bottled up. He fights forward.
Oh, my goodness.
Boy, he's going to be real close. He was hit initially behind the line, but just his big, strong frame kept the legs moving. They gave it to him. First down for the Elks.
Okay.
Wow. That was big boy football right there by Levy Owens.
And Nix gave him all he wanted, but he did just edge off for that additional yard.
So a big first down picked up again for the Elks up to their own 49. First and 10. Handoff here, faked, now giving up. This is Garbarino around the right side. The Racers did a good job playing at that time. They got about 3 or 4. Jarko in there as well as Burchett on the tackle.
Good job with Burchett, kept it inside.
Yes, exactly.
And he had plenty of help to take it from there.
3-yard gain, call it second down and 7 as we near the midway point of this third quarter. A lot of game left, but possessions are still precious at this point.
Josh, interesting backfield. What would you call that formation where they just, well, it's a little bit different now, but they just kind of stack that backfield.
Yeah, they really
in a strange way. It's like almost like an old diamond formation, but they're all spread out.
Another good run here from Owens. Going to be once again short of the marker, but another third down and 1. Feels like Elk City's had a lot of these. They faced a good deal of third downs tonight, but most of them have been very manageable.
And you have a feeling that they definitely are in 4-down territory for them.
I don't see why not, certainly. At this point, your defense is playing well, the way you're running the ball. You feel like if you don't pick this up, this spot in the field, you probably run it again. So I'm with you there. Third down and 1. Under center here is Jones, the quarterback. Hasn't a lot of throwing. Does have a touchdown pass tonight. QB sneak. Oh, this is going to help Newcastle, I think. This is going to be a false start.
Yep.
That's going to back them up 5 yards. That's a big penalty against Elk City. So from 3rd and 1 to 3rd and 6.
That does not make a coach happy.
No, right in front of that Elk City sideline. They were giving it to that official on the near side. He told me it was false start. They weren't thrilled. So it's a 5-yard penalty. It's a big call because that makes it 3rd down and 6. Certainly a lot less of a gimme now. And we'll see what Coach Maynard and the Elks draw up here. If they stick on the ground or if they let Jones throw it. They haven't thrown the ball a whole lot tonight. It's the end-around play to Patton. This has worked so well, and it's going to work again. He's loose. Cooper Patton, he's going to take it to the house again. 47 yards. That play has just been the Racers' kryptonite tonight.
You saw it coming. When he took that first step to the left and took the handoff, you think, oh, brother.
So Patton scores from 47 yards out, his second 40-plus yard touchdown run of the night. Had the one right before the half. That was obviously a body blow, and now that one stings as well. As the Elks lead it by 13 with an extra point coming. And the Racers, certainly still with time, are on the ropes right now. So they'll go for 2. Jones comes up to the line. Garbarino, the man in motion there. Handoff is given up. Pushing forward and getting there for the two-point conversion is Jaden Wynn, number 33. So with 4:52 to play in the third, Elk City has scored 16 unanswered. They lead at 22-7. A lot of game left, but the Racers need to turn around soon, certainly, here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others. Join the fight.
Back at Big Elk Stadium, Josh Calloway, Gene Reed on a quite chilly Friday night at Big Elk Stadium. First round of the 4A playoffs. Another big touchdown for Elk City's Cooper Patton, his second of the night, as he takes one in for the second time from 40 yards out. This short kick is fielded by Rice right at the 40. He breaks free. He's got some room across midfield and down at the 45. So he'll take that if you're Newcastle. Good field position coming up.
Good job, Brady. Rice is such a utility player, contributes in so many ways. And now, Josh, don't you think it's got to happen now?
Yeah, I mean, your time is, it's still the third quarter, but, the way these teams run the football, the number of possessions is relatively limited. Yeah, you definitely feel like you need to try and swing something back to your side and get yourself in the end zone here, no doubt about that. So
Grady Corbin is in. He might be able to just make a difference. Just give him a different look.
First and 10, pump fake once. He's going to fire. He's going to be wide open. It's Burrell, and he dropped it. Bobby Burrell was all alone, and he walks in for a touchdown if he can hang on to that.
What a good job by Bird.
Unbelievable.
Taking 2 steps toward the line of scrimmage. They thought sure he was going to run it, keep it and run, and then he held up. Passed it.
He stopped, perfectly. He stopped right at the line of scrimmage, his toes touching the line, found Burrell and put it right on him. But on a cold night, your hands are probably a little stiff, haven't caught a lot of balls.
Yep.
And he couldn't hang on to it. Tough blow there. Burrow keeper got a lot of room on the right side. Jackson Bird is loose. First down for Newcastle out near the 30. A great run on the QB keeper. And even though he had the drop pass, it feels like Newcastle's got a little bit of some momentum here offensively. A lot of game left. First down for Newcastle up to the 31.
Well, I thought he had handed that off, and Corbin got caught so quickly.
It was a great keep. First down, fake it again. Fire on the flat, got Logan. Blocked there by Burchett. Logan cuts back. Gets across the 25, down near the first down marker again, just outside the red zone. So Newcastle on the move here, certainly with a shot to come away with points. And like we said a minute ago, you need to.
Exactly.
Got to cash this in.
And I've heard my friend Billy Collier so many times talk about the value of downfield blocking by the other receivers. And he
saw it there.
That helped.
Second down and 2. Burt, pump fake once. He's going to
fire
Shane up the corner. Knocked away. Good defense there by who else? Cooper Patton, who is slowly getting his name more and more ingrained in the fabric of this ball game. As he comes over and knocks that ball away from Shaniel. It was kind of a one-on-one situation. If Patton didn't make that play, very well might be a touchdown. But he came over, knocked it away to be 3rd and short. 3:39 to play here in this third quarter. Big third down here. Imagine they would go for it if he doesn't pick it up, but still, big spot. Third down. Burt, fake the handoff. He'll keep it. Oh, no, he gave it up.
Give it to
Corbin. Corbin, it was I got fooled. Corbin right up the middle there, and a good run down inside the 15. Gives us a chance for the first time tonight, believe it or not, to thank our red zone sponsor, Heat and Air Guy, as the Racers knocking on the door. Heat and Air Guy, cooling heat in the air that you breathe. It is not a secret that in Oklahoma, air conditioner and heater play a vital role in your life, so we will get your heater and air conditioner working and keep it working. Call them today, 405-305-5734. Racers 1st and 10 here, down at the 13-yard line. Burke hand off to Corbin again. Got some room running through contact down inside the 5. going to be second down and real short here. And Racers are knocking on the door of points. You got to finish this drive off. I mean, it's a given at this point. I'm not saying anything that's not known, but you got to find a way to finish this drive, then trust your defense.
And looked like a jumbo set. Watch number 28.
Bird splits off. That's Shanuel back there ready to catch the snap.
Oh, you're right.
He's got it. Shanuel to the left side. Got some room over the shoulder. The pylon. He's in. Touchdown, Newcastle. Jackson Shanuel from 4 yards out, and Newcastle is only down 9.
My eye went straight to Nix, who was actually up.
Yeah, they moved him up into kind of a blocker.
Yeah, I was using my binoculars, and I really, until you said that, I did not realize. And what a great job by Shanuel skirting around that left end.
So Shanuel punches it in from 4 yards out on the QB keeper. It's a 9-point game, but here comes a big extra point for Batchelor. You need this to make it a one-score game, and I think that's who I hold off after last week. It goes through, and just like that, with 2:35 to go, this game is not over yet, folks. Elk City 22, Newcastle 14, late in the third on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Good job, offense.
Sidelined by surgery, illness, injury? Valor Physical Therapy can help. At Valor PT, our skilled therapists create a rehabilitation program individualized for you, with education and encouragement each step of the way. Whether it's sports or the activities of life, let Valor get you back in the game. Start now at 405-265-6449. No referral needed. Mention Oklahoma Sports Network and get a free t-shirt at your first appointment.
Back here at Big Elk Stadium, Josh Calloway, Gene Reed on a frigid Friday night at Big Elk Stadium, but we're enjoying it. Good football game here. Newcastle and Elk City, first round of the 4A playoffs. Elk City, a big touchdown and a two-pointer to go up 15. Felt like they were slipping through Newcastle's fingers when they put together a huge touchdown drive, capped off by the run by Jackson Shanuel, and they're now down just 8. Here still with a couple minutes to play in the third quarter. What a kickoff that was by Batchelor. Booted that thing right into the end zone. And that's where the Elks will bring it out to the 20. So, obviously you got the big response you needed, Gene, but now you need your defense to back it up and continue to stack good possessions.
This will be huge. That touchdown just warmed it up in the booth a little bit for me. I just started feeling better. And
I'm trying not to say too much about the fact that I am cold because I know it's way worse outside. So I don't want to the people outside are really the true heroes right now because it is cold out there.
They are. And but the boys in blue will be heroes if they can stop this powerful old school offense, if you will, Josh.
Oh yeah, run the rock. That's what Elk City likes to do. They've done it a lot and well tonight. First down run here. He squeezed through. I spoke a little too soon.
Well, he did.
All of a sudden he just teleported ahead, did Owens, for about a 6-yard gain. It looked like he was going to get just a yard or two. All of a sudden he was jutted ahead to the 25.
Well, it's almost like the old Babe Ruth or whoever those baseball players who could just point to the left field.
I'm going there.
Put the ball right there. And, this offense kind of has that moxie. We could almost tell you where we're going now. Can you stop us? And that's what we have to answer.
Big Logan Trevino, who we talked about in the pregame, that right tackle, and they've run behind him a lot tonight and largely successfully. Second down here. Going to go back to Owens, this time to the other side, and didn't have as much success. Wrapped up, only got maybe a half yard, if anything. And it's going to be a third down and medium coming up for Elk City. And here's another big opportunity for Newcastle to try and buckle down and get a stop. And, I think it probably goes without saying at this point, but watch for the jet sweep. Watch for the sweep. About a minute and a half to play here at Big Elk Stadium. Big play here. Third down and 3 is what it's called officially on the board. 22-14. Man in motion. There it is. Patting around the outside. I think he got it.
I think he did.
And it looks like he did. Newcastle did a good job crashing on it, but was able, with the full head of speed, it's going to be hard to keep from getting that edge and getting the yardage they need, and it's a first down for Elk City up to the 31. It's a play right now that Newcastle has just not quite found the recipe to stop. Those little end arounds, specifically to Patton.
Back to a little more traditional 3-down lineman. Now the backs come up.
1st and 10 up at the 31. Jones under center. Fake the handoff. Oh, he gets bodied.
Good
and
job.
wrangled in the backfield. That's 26. Brady Rice was all over that. Jones went to pitch and turned around and had him right in his face. Big loss there, about 5 yards. That's big for Newcastle because, tell you what, tonight, Elk City, and it's a big thing, really important for a team that likes to run the ball as much as they do. They haven't been behind the chains hardly at all.
That's right.
That's a big play there. So we're down to 43 seconds and counting to play in this third quarter. An opportunity has crept open here for Newcastle defensively after that loss. 2nd down and long. Jones, handoff goes to Garbarino. He gets popped, and he's not going to get much. He'll get about 2 yards of that back, and it's going to be 3rd down and long coming up here, I assume, to start the fourth quarter. Elk City doesn't need to snap it, no reason to do so.
I'm looking at some of the personnel. He's got Duran Barker in there, I think a freshman in the backfield. I think he brought in some speed, maybe to get around those out to the edges. We've got to keep an eye on some of the players he's got out there, and so far, so good.
3 quarters down at Big Elk Stadium. It's going to be a heck of a fourth quarter. We know that. Elk City leads Newcastle 22-14 after 3. Fourth quarter up next right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
It's no secret that life is busy and you have a million things on your to-do list.
Here at Community Bank of Oklahoma, we've made banking simple again.
We can help you get to the important things in life, like the big game tonight.
We do all the heavy lifting, so you don't have to.
Race towards us at Community Bank of Oklahoma because we wouldn't be a community without you.
Coast Technology Group specializes in audio, video, and lighting for schools, house of worship, home, and business. Work with our team's engineers to design the right system for your conference rooms, video telecommunications, stadiums, auditoriums, video walls, home theater, and automation. Whether your next project is large or small, let our team with over 150 years of combined experience help design the right system with simple, reliable technology.
Back here at Big Elk Stadium. Fourth quarter action in the first play. Wrangled in the backfield. Randy Nix is all over him. Big play by Randy Nix to start this fourth quarter on 3rd down and long. And that's going to be 4th down and really long. Well, I'll be. Racers are going to get the football back.
What about
down
17? 4th and 17.
4th and a lot. Definitely going to have to boot this away. Wow, what a huge play by Randy Nix. I tried to give him one earlier when it was actually Brady Rice.
He did break through that way.
That time he was all over it. Massive loss.
Here's a chance
and Elk City has to punt.
Shanuel to take a Let's stay away from it.
That's a pretty good boot.
Yeah, it was a good
Dice
boot.
right about the 40. Still good field position, though, for Newcastle with 11-14. Obviously, loads of time still to play in this game, and they're down 8 and have the ball back. And really, for the first time in a long time, it feels like momentum is with Newcastle.
Yeah, Aiden Schumard is in the lineup now, along with Corbin.
We're in for a heck of a finish here, I think. We got a lot of game to go, but 8-point ball game. Burt in the shotgun. Huge drive for Newcastle here, down by 8 on the road, first round of the playoffs.
Just be patient.
Handoff. Here is Rice, or is Corbin, Corbin, pushing forward out near midfield. A big run. I'll tell you what, you said it. Grady Corbin has been a spark plug since coming into this game. First down, Newcastle out to midfield.
He doesn't slash and cut like some of the other runners, but he just made a quick jog to the left, a quick step to the left.
He doesn't get sped up. Yeah,
that's right.
He goes at his pace and hits the holes and gets yards. First down at midfield. Fake it to him. No, he's going to give it to him. Corbin up the middle. You're pushing forward, bouncing off
driving.
Guys.
Still driving.
Keep the legs churning. And, yeah, gets out to about the 46. Second down and manageable coming up here for Newcastle. Thank our fourth quarter sponsor real quick before we get too deep into this thing. American Water Solutions. AWS is a full-service water treatment organization that provides industry-leading services for commercial and residential customers in Oklahoma and Texas, providing cost-effective, high-quality water treatment for the needs of our clients. Call them at 405-406-1621 for a free consultation today. Burt fires to the sideline a little high for Schumart. Also want to mention American Water Solutions providing water to the Racer football team all season long. So shout out to them for doing that as well. Third down coming up for the Racers here at the 46 after that incomplete pass looking for Schumart. You imagine it's 4-down territory at this point in the ball game, so you can probably run the ball here and feel good about it still.
Josh, I noted Randy Nix trotted off on his own, but it looked like he's favoring his shoulder a little bit. I don't want to jump into that, but just be watching for
dealing
him.
With something. Yeah, I feel you. Third down and 6. Burt, handoff goes to Corbin, running hard.
Oh.
Found a way to squeeze through, keep the legs moving. It's going to be 4th down, but it's a matter of how much. And they stop them there. It'll be 4th down and about 3 for Newcastle. I feel like they definitely are going to go for it. And here comes the biggest play of the season to this point right here. Under 10 minutes to play.
So true.
And that was a play call that was, we just want to get this closer to make our 4th down more manageable, trusting our offense. And here you go. Massive 4th down and 3. Elk City faithful can feel it. A lot of them getting on their feet here. Big play here. 4th down and 3. What do you do here if you're Newcastle? 4th down.
Oh,
and somebody moved.
Yeah, wrong side moved.
That's a body blow there for Newcastle, and it's kind of goes back to what we were saying earlier. Just hasn't even been that many penalties tonight, but they've been so inopportune when they've happened. And it's now going to be 4th down and 8 instead of 4th and 3. Probably still go for it, but it's a lot tougher now.
The way our defense have held up, you would think you'd like to see them pinned down in their end of the field.
We'll see what they elect to do. Obviously, they've had Burt punt it out of the shotgun several times just tonight. We'll see if that's what they go or if they are going to try and pick this up. Big play here. Snap, and they are going to go for it. Burt back to pass. He's going to step up in the pocket. A lot of room there. He's going to take off. He's going to set and fire. Got Shanuel deep. Coming back to the football. Incomplete. Boy, he had Shanuel, but that was a really far throw through a cold wind. There is a flag down about midfield that nobody seems to really be acknowledging, quite frankly. But it's an incomplete pass, and Elk City is going to get the ball back.
Ineligible downfield.
Yeah, so it wouldn't have counted anyway.
Yeah.
Even if he had caught it, they would have taken that up in 4th and 13. So,
the defender just happened to be between Shanuel and where the ball was going. As soon as Jackson tried to move over in that direction, the kid was in his way, you might say, but he had the right to be there, but it really kept him from getting anywhere close to that.
I was wondering for a moment if Burt was going to take off.
I wish
it seemed like he had some room. Obviously, the penalty doesn't happen. There is no if it's a run play, and so I don't know. It would have been interesting because there was a lot of room there for just a moment where I thought he was going to try and run it. So the Racer defense back out with 9:10 to go. Still have time, but you certainly can't really allow any more points. But still got a lot of field to work with here. Newcastle not out of this yet. Handoff goes to Owens. Nothing there. Gets about a yard. That was well read by the Racers. We're trying to buckle down and find a way to gut this thing out on the road under 9 minutes to go.
Taj Smith looked like Maddox. Birdsong again. But he turned his number away from him. I'm not sure. I think that's 55.
Yeah, they
did a good job.
2nd down and 9 here after the 1-yard pickup. Jones under center. He'll fake it. He gets blown up in the backfield again. Newcastle all over that.
I think that's Brady, wasn't it?
That was Mr. Rice, yes, Brady 26, Rice. Who just completely blew that up. Tell you what, Elk City is fortunate that wasn't a turnover of some kind because that was right on the exchange.
He was there for the handoff.
He almost handed it to Brady Rice. He was all over that. A big loss. It's going to be 3rd down and 13 now after about a 5-yard loss.
Josh, this is a little more of the intensity I was kind of hoping for. I didn't want to knock the Racers that first half. I mean, they were playing hard, but just the energy that I wanted to see is starting to show now.
Under 8 minutes to play. Big 3rd down here. Got to get this stop for Newcastle. Man wasn't set at the bottom. Jones is going to fire deep. This isn't going to matter. It's complete here. This play is not going to count because the receiver at the bottom of the field was not set.
And the coaches up on top, their coaches are stomping.
Yep, coach up top is very upset there. Caden Holder, number 1. He went in motion and just wasn't quite set. The official was on it right away, and he wiped out that touchdown to Garbarino. I mean, you want to talk about a brutal mistake by Elk City because, I mean, him being in motion had zero bearing on that play, obviously. Right?
Right.
I mean, it's a good call. It's the correct call.
So
but it just, for Elk City's sake, it hurts because it had no bearing on the success of that play.
Right. Remain third down. Third and what now, about 16?
18, I think.
18.
Yeah, 18.
Yep.
At the 40, got to get up to the plus 42.
Of course, you can blink your eyes and see them cover that kind of ground. So,
very true. Those jet sweeps have been effective. We'll see if that's what they go with. The give here and wrangle down. I don't know who had the ball. I lost the ball completely.
Yeah,
and it was actually a loss of a yard or two to Garbarino, who caught that touchdown that didn't happen a moment ago, and now
I'm
City
with
will have
you.
to punt again.
My eye went to the runner out here, to the player out here about 8 yards forward, but luckily he didn't have the ball. I didn't see who got the tackle on that, Josh.
Well,
but a good job by staying at home there in the center.
The Racer defense steps up again. And they give their offense another shot at it just outside of 7 minutes. That was almost blocked.
What were pass due for?
It'll bounce down and takes an Elk City hop and will roll down to about the 22. And that's where Newcastle set up with 6:59 to go.
Good job punting, and he gets it up there in the air for hang time, and their coverage got down there fast. I was about to say we're overdue for a punt return, but they did a good job.
They were close on the block there, too.
Oh, yeah.
So here's where it gets interesting now, obviously, because Newcastle still has certainly plenty of time. But you don't want to take too long just in case you go for 2 and don't get it. You want to leave yourself a little wiggle room on the back end. So we'll see how this goes. But Racers certainly still right there in this, down by 8 points, 6:59 to play. Burt takes the snap, and we have whistles right on the snap. I imagine it's going to be a false start on Newcastle. You see some frustration there from Newcastle's number 57, which is Chad Kraft, a very reliable lineman for the Racers. He was beating himself up on that one, literally, hitting the helmet. 5-yard penalty. Elk City players imploring their faithful to get loud, have a chance here to try and sew up a playoff win at home. Get to the quarterfinals. That's the goal right now. Winner of this one gets the winner of Hilldale and McLean next Friday night. Burt takes it. Back to pass. Pressure in his face. Going to fire deep. Looking for Shane, who's got a beat on it. Knocked away out of bounds. There was a lot of contact there, but no penalty called either way. Shane and Holder were battling.
Well, right on the sideline too, Josh. It would have been a miracle if he could have pulled that in even.
It wasn't a bad throw. It was really just pretty good defense by Caden Holder. Right there on Shane. Didn't really give him any room to maneuver. So it'll be 2nd down and 15 after the incomplete pass. Burt in the shotgun. He'll take it. Back to pass again. A little let Burt air it out here. He's going to fire deep, looking for his man. It's a little tall. Incomplete there. Was hoping to connect with 33, Hunter Berry. Just missed him. It's going to be 3rd and long. Berry had some separation, but the pass got a little high on Burt there. So it'll be 3rd down and 15 now with 6:45 to go. Burt in the shotgun once more. He'll take it. Fake the handoff. Back to pass. Burt going to fire deep. Got his man, and a miscommunication there, I think, as Shaniel kind of started to cut over the middle of the field where Burt looked like he was looking for him to more go up the seam. And so pass way too tall, incomplete, and a 3-and-out for Newcastle after that stop. And they'll have to punt it away once more with 6:40 to go. And now time's really not on your side.
Missed opportunity.
And you're just going to have to trust your defense to come through once more. Tell you what, Elk City surprisingly not having anybody back for this. I guess just guarding for the fake. I'm not sure. Batchelder gives a nice boot, and there's nobody back to do anything about it. It'll bounce down and roll to the 45 or so. And that's where Elk City will set up on offense with 6:30 to play here at Big Elk Stadium. Well, Gene, obviously you're hoping for your defense to come through for you one more time. Your defense has been really good tonight outside of just a few big mistakes. Now, mistakes that can't happen, but, I mean, 2 touchdowns of over 40 yards. Your other touchdown came after a really big run, put you down inside the 5. It's been kind of that kind of night for Newcastle. Really close to being right there in it, but it's just a few untimely mistakes.
And that scoring drive
still
was
there,
so encouraging, though, where we took it in. It would have been nice to see that follow-up with a couple more long drives.
1st and 10 at their own 45, and penalties are going to work in Newcastle's favor on this one as a false start here. Going to go against the Elks. We'll back them up 5. Feels like Elk City's in a little bit of a just trying to survive this game mode at this point. They haven't played their best game either, doesn't really feel like. Both teams have definitely made mistakes, had some untimely penalties. Elk City's offense, for the most part, hasn't really been a well-oiled machine by any stretch, but they've found a way to come through with a few big plays.
They sure have.
So after the false start, 1st and 15. Still a little over half this 4th quarter to go. Handoff here. This is Owens. Oh, no, excuse me. He kept it. Boy, I'm getting faked out a lot here in the second half. Short pickup, just about 2 yards there. It'll be 2nd down and long coming up. And if you're Elk City, you're just wanting to keep the clock moving. Clock is your friend right now.
Well, exactly. And they have the offense that will do it.
100. Yeah, you don't have to get out of characteristic to try and melt the clock. You can just do your thing. It's naturally going to melt that clock. Midway point of the 4th quarter. 2nd down and 13 here for the Elks, and we have whistles and a timeout taken, I think, by the Elks here. We'll wait for the signal, and it is indeed taken by Coach Maynard and Elk City, and that is their first timeout from either team in this second half with 5:54 to go. So, obviously here, if you're Newcastle, you still have time, but you don't have a lot of wiggle room. You want to get this stop quickly, give yourself as much time as you possibly can, and then you got to hope you can punch in and get the 2 to maybe look at an overtime scenario, depending on how the clock shakes out, obviously, but... Going to be an interesting last half quarter here.
And, this game is still winnable. Whether we win tonight or not, what's exciting for our Racer fans is we have a lot of good talent continuing. They'll be back next year and the year after.
Oh, yeah.
We have 15 juniors, and 12 of them have significant playing time. And they'll be able to return. And again, I'm not wrapping up the season now. I'm just saying Racer fans have a lot to look forward to over the next 3 or 4 years with the talent that is loading the program.
2nd down and long here. Handoff goes to Garbarino on that end-around jet sweep.
Yep, they were
covering. Good yardage there, but tripped up after about a 6 or 7 yard pickup. Sets up a 3rd down and fairly long. He's at about the 48, got to get to the plus 45. So call it 3rd down and about 7.
Good open field tackle by Burchett. Really went low and tripped him up.
So 3rd down coming up here for the Elks. Racers know they got to buckle down and find a way to get this stop. And certainly the sooner the better for clock, field position, all of it. So big play here. 3rd and 7. Jones under center. Checking with his guys. Owens, the running back there, the big man. Oh, that's going to be a false start. So that's going to help the Racers. Patton moved a little early.
And the clock stops.
Clock will stop momentarily with 5:09 to go and 5 more yards. So it'll be 3rd down and 12 now instead of 7. That feels like a big difference.
That is a big difference.
And so Racers certainly have a good shot here to try and get this stop and get the football back to their offense. Winner of this one gets the winner of Hilldale and McLean next Friday night in the quarterfinals. Only good teams are left, Gene. Obviously, none of these, they're not supposed to be easy at this point.
That's right.
If you got here, you earned it. 3rd and 12 for the Elks. Jones under center. Patton in motion. He'll get it.
He's got it.
Cooper Patton on the left side. Racers read it pretty well, but he's shifty. But they do a good job swarming to him, putting him down. It's going to be 4th down and long. Elks will no doubt punt this. And the Racers will get the ball back with a shot once again, down 8. And they'll have a little over 4 minutes by the time they get it to try and go tie this game.
And isn't it interesting? If the Racers can get down here and score, it's going to take a two-point conversion.
Yeah.
We talked about the advantage of having kicking
Well,
game.
Elk City punched in a couple big 2-pointers.
They did, and we're going to have to answer with the same.
So the Elks will boot it away.
Uh-oh.
It's a fake. Fires down the middle, and it's caught. First down and more. What a gutsy play call by Coach Maynard. The fake ends up in the hands of Matthew Thompson, the senior. Haven't said his name once all night. He leaked out and caught that fake. And Elk City gets a ginormous first down up to the 33. What an unreal time to call that fake. I mean, you just have one of those tip your cap spots. Wow, what a call.
Because we were sure they were going to punt it. Apparently our defense was. That was a gutsy call.
Extremely, and it works out. It's one of it's how it works.
Yep.
If it doesn't work, killing them for it, but it worked. So it's an amazing call. Inside the 35, Elks now knocking on the door of salting this away. Owens bounce outside. He gets knocked out of bounds, which is big because it'll stop the clock, which Newcastle needs every second they can get right now. But they do give him 9 yards, look like they got more than I realized, and he's close to another first.
Yep, under 3.5 minutes. So that was a tough hit.
A fake punt, man. You're gonna if Elk City holds on to win this game, if they hold on to, trying to go on a kind of a run here through November, trying to get to Chad Richardson Stadium at season's end, then you circle that fake punt.
Mm-hmm.
2nd down and 1. Handoff Owens. Not much there, but he didn't need much. We'll see where the spot is. Like I said, he only needed about a yard, maybe even a half yard.
I think they're parked right on the line to gain.
And they're giving it to him. Yep. First down for the Elks. So with 3:15 left, another first down. And obviously Newcastle right now is on the ropes here. It's not over. They still have all their timeouts. Elk City doesn't have really much at all of a kick game. So if you can find a way to get us up, you should get your offense at least one more look. But certainly going to need a lot to go your way here over the last 3 minutes. Jones, handoff was given there. Kind of was a little bit of deception. He gave it up.
He did.
There to 33, which is Jaden Wynn, who's seen him a couple times tonight. Didn't go for much, though.
And Josh, another example of just the ball handling, all that movement on their offense that works so well for them.
That's hard. That's hard to defend. I mean, that's real. I mean, it's trickeration for me, and I'm just looking at it from the press box. I mean, I got to imagine field level, you're trying to tackle the guy. It can be a lot. So, only about a 1 yard pickup. Clock keeps moving. Racers haven't used any of their timeouts yet. Got to imagine that's approaching. 2nd down and 9. Patton in motion. He'll get it. Patton outside. Got some room there. Cooper Patton. First down and more. Patton in the end zone. And he's in. Touchdown. Cooper Patton is 3rd of the night. That one from 24 yards out. He's got over 100 yards on just 3 touchdown plays alone. And the Elks may have just put the finishing touches on this one.
Well, the racer went low to try to trip him up. Can't see who it is, but he took a pretty
Those jet sweeps off the edge with Cooper Patton tonight have just been lethal. I mean, his speed off the edge is enough on its own, but especially when you're talking about getting a head start and, obviously it takes you, a beat to recognize it, as there's an injured racer getting help on the field over there. I didn't quite, could you tell who that was?
I can't, and
didn't even see how that happened.
He was the defender who hit the runner just as he fell into the end zone. I think I know who it is, but I'm going to wait until. was a tough hit. He did what he could to stop him,
But yeah, like to put the finishing touches on that. I mean, just those jet sweeps. Patent speed by itself is enough. You're talking about the
my goodness,
get the head start on it, and then it takes you a beat to recognize his high snap here is going to blow up this play. He's going to just fire it to the end zone, and it'll be intercepted in the end zone by 24. That's Corbin who picked that off. So 2:10 to play. It is 28-14 Elk City, but. It takes you a beat to recognize that that's what happened. They gave it. I mean, you combine those two things,
right?
The time it takes to react and his speed with a head start, and it's going to be tough. I mean, the Racers, they just had a hard time adjusting to it. They did a couple times where they did a nice job of kind of bottling it up, but it only takes one. I mean, once he gets loose around that sideline, it's kind of good night.
Yep. You're right. Well, to repeat myself, I knew they would score, and I didn't think about how many times, but I would not have been surprised to expect a 28-point, score for Elk City because they've been demonstrating it all year. I had to hope that we could limit them to not much more than that, but I was hoping we would match them in scoring as well, and it just couldn't happen tonight. So. Tip of the hat to their defense. They were covering where they need to cover.
Definitely a tough, just night. I mean, they were really close in a lot of areas, and we'll wrap it up here in the postgame show here momentarily. But certainly a frustrating game in a lot of ways for Newcastle. Bradford scoops up return who he tackled down at the 25 with 2:06 to go. So here's the deal for the Racers. Pretty simple. You have all your timeouts. You're down by 2 touchdowns. Get down the field, punch it in, onside kick, do it again. I mean, that's really where you're at right now, which, Billy and I love to reference, and you were obviously there as well a couple years ago. Newcastle Racers, Cash Bulldogs at Racer Stadium. 2 onside kicks back-to-back, make up a 3-touchdown deficit in about 2 minutes. So it's not impossible, but it'll take a lot. But we'll see what happens over the final 2:06. Burt rolls out to pass. He's going to let it fly deep, looking for Alex Logan. Oh, he goes off his hand.
Good defense.
And incomplete. That was well defended there by the Elks. Number 11, that's Matthew Thompson, who caught the fake punt. So we hadn't said his name a whole lot tonight, but comes through with 2 big plays here down the home stretch of this game. And with exactly 2 minutes left, it'll be second down coming up for the Racers. Like we said, don't go near the conclusion of the ball game. Gene and I will wrap things up from Elk City. If the Racers lose, we'll put the finishing touches on the season, of course. And if not, we'll look ahead to next week. The Racers have a lot of work to do, though, to try and get that to be the situation. 2 minutes left. Burt back to pass. He'll roll out. Got some room here. He's going to take off. He will. A pump fake wants to get a little bit of room. Cuts back, rolling over guys. Gets across the 40. A lot of heart still out there for Burt. Still running hard, trying to see what he can do. Down to the 41, clock keeps ticking. Racers trying to save their timeouts, it would appear, if they can.
It's good to see. Keeping their head up, doing what they can to
keep
narrow
battling. Keep battling. Down to the 41. Burt back to pass. He's going to let it fly. Looking for Logan deep. Ooh, just off the fingertips there. Logan closed that gap quicker than it looked like he
sure
was able
did.
to.
I thought that was way past him, but he came in on it. And do I see a flag down out there? Apparently not. No. Something on the field there right about where the pass was knocked down.
No flag. Incomplete.
No flag.
Second down and 10 at the 41. $1:33 to go. Racers again have all 3 of their timeouts. We'll see at what point Coach Brickman elects to deploy them. Burt rolls out on second down. He'll fire to the sideline. Got Shane. Oh, off the hands, incomplete. Started moving a little bit before he had the football there. And it'll be third down coming up. As the Elk City faithful can obviously smell it. They're close to getting back to the quarterfinals again. Remember that this was a semifinal team just last year. Won 10 games, lost to Clinton in the semis, and they're 1 minute, 28 seconds away from getting their 10th win again in back-to-back seasons. Burt back to pass, pressure off the edge. He'll step up, trying to get some room. He's got to let it fly. How did he get out of that? Burt is loose, first down and more. He's Houdini, still on his feet. Cut back inside the 30. Unbelievable scramble by Jackson Burt. I thought he was going to be down 5 different times.
Good job. I mean, kudos to the clock man. He stopped that as soon as the ball was marked down, and a minute and 14 seconds
I think
left.
the Racers used their first timeout, saying, hey, we're in full-blown onside kick game at this point. That was an outrageous run. I mean, he was dead to rights 5 different times. That was unbelievable. Heck of a scramble there by Burt, trying to keep his team's season alive. So down to the 28, they use their first timeout. Newcastle, again, it's pretty it's not easy. Simple doesn't mean easy, but it is simple at this point. It's get a touchdown, onside kick, do it again. I mean, that's where you're at right now.
Right.
That was an unbelievable run. And I'll tell you what, Jackson Burt, the jumps he made from last year this year were very obvious. Excited to see what kind of jumps he can do again next year as well. He'll be back, obviously, another year as the starting quarterback, you presume, as just a junior. Burt pump fake, or I think the handoff, I should say. He rolls out to his right, fire up the sideline. He's got Corbin. He's got him. Oh, and he dropped it.
Goodness.
He had it down inside the 10. That's a second very untimely Racers drop in this second half. Boy, Corbin, he at least gets inside the 10, if not scores there.
Boy, he's done a good job. He has
That was a
made some great
beautifully
catches,
executed play.
That one just, again, who knows how cold those hands are.
I'm sure very.
That football.
I'm sure very. My hands are
And
cold.
there
when I'm
is
up there.
roughing the passer against the defense.
Wow, I didn't even see that. So a penalty, that'll help. Roughing the passer gets the Racers up into the red zone. Again, thank our red zone sponsor, Heat and Air Guy, as Newcastle with 1:07 to play has it down to the 14-yard line. You scored, you kick an onside kick, and who knows? It's high school football. Crazy things happen. First down and 10 at the 14. Burt back to pass. Pump fake once. He'll fire and pass a little too tall there. Off the fingertips of Carson Bolser. I had to check the number there. He doesn't get to catch passes too often. Incomplete. And it'll go second down now. Minute 3. For just tuning in, thank you for finding us. For the conclusion of this one, Josh Calloway, Gene Reed, Friday Night Football on the Oklahoma Sports Network. 4A playoffs. Racers trying to mount a late comeback here against Elk City. Burt back to pass again. He'll step up. Got all day. He'll roll out now.
Nobody
Cuts
open.
back. He says, I'm going to take it myself. Running hard, takes a big hit. He's tackled down just outside the 5 at about the 6. And Newcastle will go ahead and use their second timeout with 50.9 on the clock.
Where they spotted?
I think the 6-yard line, it looks like, and it's third down and about 1.5, something like that, which you certainly want to score in the next 2 plays as it is. I mean, the sooner the better. You're running real low on time, obviously, but you never know. After an onside kick, and again, we referenced it earlier, but if you don't know what I was talking about, 2020, Racer Stadium, Racers were down, I believe it was 20 points with about 2 minutes and change on the clock. Touchdown, onside kick, touchdown, onside kick, and then the game-winning touchdown.
Yep.
And so Billy and I often reference that game. Anytime a game looks over, pretty much we reference that game as being the ultimate game that had that it was over. I mean, it was done, and Racers found a way for the unbelievable comeback.
Rare Saturday afternoon game, Josh.
Very rare. Yeah, it got bumped over a day. That was weird times in 2020. Third down, Burt back to pass, rolls out, trying to get some room. He'll run it himself. He's going to get the first down, but I don't think he's going to get to the end zone. Clock will stop momentarily at 42.2, and the Racers look like they're going to go ahead and take that last time out. They were signaling for it.
They're going to clock it. You better hurry.
Okay, they are. It seemed like some assistants were signaling for timeout, but they're going to go for a play here. Burt dodges the first man, takes off with it, running over guys, trying to get there, and he's short of the goal line, I should say. 29 seconds, and now the Racers will take that last timeout. So this last few plays have taken a little more time than you would like. I mean, you're already hurting on time as it is, obviously, or at this point, but So the Racers, I haven't seen a signal. I assume they took the timeout. I've seen waving to stop the clock, but I haven't actually seen the signal for the timeout yet. Maybe they didn't take it just yet.
But something stopped the clock.
Yeah, exactly. I put 2 and 2 together, but they're racing back up. I don't know if they took it or not. If they did, I'm not sure what the stoppage was.
I guess not, because he wound
now it's
it.
back to it. Burt on the QB sneak, and he's in. Touchdown, Jackson Burt on the QB keeper. And with 23.5 to go, the Racers are back within a score, and obviously we'll go for the extra point here and hope for a miracle. That was a good drive, though. I mean, it took a little more time than you'd like, but you're hurting on time as it is. I mean, still battling. Jackson Burt showing a lot of heart there on that drive, a lot of tough runs. Spot down, kick is up and through for Toby Batchelder. He's had a perfect night kicking, and it'll be up to him again on an onside kick with 23.5 to go. Racers still have 1 timeout, so you're hoping for an onside kick and then maybe 2-3 shots at the end zone at most. I mean, you have the 1 timeout to play with. But obviously the big hurdle first is finding a way to get this onside kick.
Right.
It's a cold night, though, like we just said. You kick it, it's going to be tough for whoever's first up on Elk City to have a crack at that ball to make sure that they put their hands on it and squeeze it.
And I'm trying to remember if we've seen Toby kick onside. I feel like we did, and I can't remember the occasion, but we'll have to watch how he lays the ball. Will he lay it down? Will he try to put it up in the air? Will he kick it on the ground? It has to go, 10 yards? We know that before we touch it.
I'm curious the style, right? You're always wondering, is it going to be the kind of the slow dribbler, kind of try and pop it up?
Yeah, there you go. He's laying it on
the
his
ball
side.
On the side, yeah. So you're kicking from the 40. It's got to get to midfield. If the Racers recover it, they'll have a little bit of a shot. If not, game is over. Here we go. Onside kick. Newcastle, last gasp to try and stay alive. On the ground. Off the hands. It's loose. Waiting for a signal. Initial man who had a crack at it for Elk City lost it. And the Elks do come up with it. It's recovered by Elk City. Boy, that for just a moment there. Cale Poole, the senior number 24, had it bounce off his pads, but I think he's the one who then got back on it.
About 8 Racers were pointing the other way. They
were hoping.
Just optimistic.
Hoping. They were trying to speak it into existence.
Yep.
So the Elks recover with 21.5 seconds to go. And that just about does it, barring something truly unforeseen now.
Because we know this formation.
We do. The Racers have been on the right end of a lot of these this year, but tonight, we're going to come up just short. So Jones will kneel it. Racers have 1 more timeout. It's kind of just, would be for fun almost to take it, and they don't. And that's your ball game. The Racers' season comes to an end. A hard-fought ball game here at Elk City. They lose to the Elks 28-21 in the first round of the 4A playoffs. The Elks move on, and the Racers' season comes to an end at 7-4. We'll step aside. Gene and I will come back to wrap it all up from Big Elk Stadium. Stick with us for the postgame show next here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
When it comes to your home, you need someone that you can trust to keep it safe and protected for you and your family.
Vesta Foundation Solutions is your local, family-owned company that has helped many homeowners fix and protect their homes.
Our engineered solutions can take care of all of your foundation repair, basement waterproofing, concrete leveling, and dirt crawl space repair needs.
We take pride in getting the job done right, and you'll always be protected with up to a 75-year warranty.
Contact us today for a free estimate.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others. Join the fight.
CFD, our mission is to deliver quality dentistry by providing big practice benefits with a little practice feel. Since 2008, we've updated our look, technology, and have added new smiles to our tenured staff to better care for you right here at home. Convenience for you is one of our biggest goals, and we often provide same-day treatment to minimize your time off work. We are open Monday through Friday to serve you. Visit cfdok.com for details. We look forward to seeing you at our big little practice.
Sidelined by surgery, illness, injury? Valor Physical Therapy can help. At Valor PT, our skilled therapists create a rehabilitation program individualized for you, with education and encouragement each step of the way. Whether it's sports or the activities of life, let Valor get you back in the game. Start now at 405-265-6449. No referral needed. Mention Oklahoma Sports Network and get a free t-shirt at your first appointment.
Back here at Big Elk Stadium, Josh Calloway, Gene Reed with you, where tonight the Elk City Elks hang on, beat the Racers 28-21 in the first round of the 4A playoffs. They'll move on and take on the winner of that Hilldale-McLean matchup, which Hilldale was in control at last check. Gene, I mean, this game feels kind of really a microcosm kind of for the Racers' season.
Mm-hmm.
All their games against big teams, the big games, Blanchard, Tuttlebeth, they all kind of felt just like this. Right there, real close. A couple of untimely mistakes, a couple of big plays for the other team.
Yeah.
And you look up and they just one score game. I mean, that's how the last couple of games have felt. And even though Blanchard was 19-0, that's how that game felt too. I mean, they kept the Lions at bay that whole night, could never get the offense going, but Racers are close to being a top echelon program in 4A. That's clear, but just not another, just not quite. They're just a tick below right now.
Coach Brickman is building a process, building a program. And we've got some great. I didn't mean any disrespect from the Racers when I start talking about like in the future. So I said that maybe a little early but I was just looking ahead and we have, first of all, tip of the hat to our seniors. These I think we have 6 seniors, and they have been true leaders. And I've really been proud of them and the role they've taken. But then they've been helping to develop a dozen juniors who get a lot of playing time, 9 sophomores. We have 9 sophomores who get a significant amount of playing time. So even though it's a disappointing loss, it is ending now, but there's some good things coming down the pipe.
I agree with you completely. A lot of this team will be back next year, like you were just saying, and it's been unbelievable. Obviously, it's wraps up my 3rd season doing Racer football, and just from when I first started doing it to now, how much they've reinvented themselves. I mean, my first season, 2020 season, it was all about throwing the ball all over the yard, score a bunch of points, and you fast forward two years later, and they run the ball unbelievably well. They play really good defense. They tackle well. I mean, they've improved in every area from the first, and they were really good in 2020, but they've improved each year, and Coach Brickman has them, again, like I said, it feels like they're so close. It really does. Like they're just right there to being right up with, Tuttle and Blanchard and those teams that right now they're chasing. They're right there. It's close. It really is. I mean, I don't have to say that. I know I do the Newcastle games, but it really, truly does feel like they easily could have beat Tuttle this year. They easily could have beat Bethany this year. They were right in this game the whole night. I mean, they're just a tick away. And next year, again, a lot of this team is back. Your quarterback's back. Your starting running back's back. A lot of your defense. I mean, there's a lot to like coming back next year. So I look forward to seeing what this team can do in 2023. A lot of reasons to be optimistic. There is.
And, Josh, like a lot of Racer fans, I don't miss many games. I travel. I go to the games whenever I can. Obviously, I'm at the home games, but I travel with them. I like to stand on the sidelines with them. But one of my favorite things is to come back on Saturday morning and watch OSN and watch this replay. And, Josh, we are just so fortunate to have you and to have Billy. as a team. You do an excellent job. I just want to thank you for the great coverage that you and OSN gives to the racers. Billy Collier, he is just a gem. He's one of our favorites in Newcastle, and he does such a great job. And it was an honor for me to get set in his chair for just a few hours this evening.
Well, it was a blast having you with us. Hopefully, I'm certain that Billy doesn't want to miss games ever, but certainly, I know you're busy at the home games, obviously. But if we're on the road and Billy can't fill in, I certainly would love to have you do it again. I thought it went great tonight. We really appreciate all the kind words, of course. And I did have a text from Billy. He wanted to make sure he got his goodbye in for the season. Said, tell everyone, thank you for tuning in for a great season. Always a racer. That's what Billy had to say. That's the most Billy text of all time. We missed him tonight, but we'll certainly get him back in there next year. It's great to get to do this. I've loved it. This is, like I said, the end of my third season now, and I try to make sure at the end of each year to say thank you and all that good stuff, because you don't ever know. I mean, as it stands today, November 11th, I would love to be back next season, but life happens before next year.
Sure.
Obviously at one point I was doing something else, and then I left for this job. You know what I mean? That happens. So
we hope you can be around for a long time. And
Sure.
Josh, if I just indulge for one moment, the entire Newcastle school program and the parents and the families in Newcastle schools is doing great, and our school programs are doing great. Our athletic programs, Todd Goolsby as our athletic director, Dr. Melanie Howe, our superintendent, great school board. I mean, this community is pulling together around the school, and for me, that's just great. As a council member, I am proud of our city, and people know our city through our school. So, hats off to Dr. Howe and to the Newcastle schools, and to Coach Brickman and his staff. I just wish them the best off season, and can't wait to see them hit the field again next year.
100%. A lot to be excited about next year. I've enjoyed a lot my last 3 seasons doing this. Obviously, there's not that many. You might be surprised how few programs make the playoff. I mean, I've been fortunate for 3 years of playoff caliber football. I've in my past doing football and high school basketball, I've done it for lots of teams that were not great, didn't make the playoffs, stuff like that. So I don't take it for granted the fact that Racers win a lot of games, make the playoffs every year. It's been a lot of fun. So,
and watch out for those Racer basketball players.
Absolutely. Carl Young, one of them. He's big time. So I'll be watching out for them.
Coach Brown's got it together. We look forward to our lady racers. So
yeah. And I last season, and we're bringing it back this year. It hasn't been officially announced yet, but the Oklahoma Sports Network Game of the Week series in basketball that I was doing last year alongside Jordan Ray. We're bringing that back this season. We had the Racers on at least once last year when they played Dale. I remember that was a crazy game. And I'm sure we'll get them back on again this year as well, so look forward to that. But it's been a blast. It was great to have you with us, Gene, filling in for Billy. It's been another great season. Thank you so much for watching. It happens so often. It's almost every week, really. I mean, close to every week that somebody comes up to Billy or I and thanks us for doing the games and says they watch all the road games, or they have family in another state that watch all the games. Love that stuff. That means a lot. So we really appreciate that. I know Billy loves doing it. I love doing it.
And one of our unsung heroes, Uriah, up there.
Oh, yeah. Uriah Martinez, of course, working the camera for us all season. Carson Wade, who was fantastic on the production all season long. He couldn't be here tonight, but did a great part of all season. Both Uriah and Carson were both new this year. We came in this year. Billy and I were spoiled that when we first started doing it in 2020, our camera op and our producer had both already been doing it. And so we had them for 2 full seasons, and we were a little nervous losing them. I mean, we were like, we're going to have to fill those guys in, and Uriah and Carson stepped right in.
Wow.
They didn't miss a beat. So that was great this season. They both filled in and did a great job. So it was a lot of fun. Great season. Wish you could keep going, but the Racers do come up just short. Tonight, of course, Oklahoma Sports Network still going to have a lot of playoff football for you through the rest of the postseason. Last 2 years ago, Billy and I picked up another game. I think we did Frederick and Millwood a couple years ago, so that may happen again. If it does, keep an eye out for us. If you just don't want to be without Billy and I for another Friday night, but we're just going to have a lot of playoff football for you on OSN, so if you're just a fan of football, hopefully you find some games on OSN and support the the network and the other OSN schools because it helps us out. If you watch the other OSN schools, it all works. We're all one big unit. So watch those Carl Albert Titans next week on OSN or something like that. It'll still help us. So that's it for us. Any last things?
That's it. Good night.
Good
Josh,
night.
Thank
That's
you, man.
it. It was a blast doing the game with Gene. Thank you, everybody here at Elk City. Everybody was extremely helpful out here. It's one of the easiest places to do a game. We travel around all these different places, and certainly won't name any names or anything, but there are some places that it's like pulling teeth to get set up, to get rosters from, to get that kind of thing. Elk City is the exact opposite of that in every way. Their athletic director, extremely helpful. Everybody here, extremely helpful, like from the second you get here. So shout out to everybody in Elk City. Really, other than the fact that it's just far, it is one of my favorite places to come. Everybody's very, very nice out here. So I always like coming out here as well. So good game. Rooting for the Elks next week. We'll see what they can do in the quarterfinals against either Hilldale or McLean. That's it for us. It was a tremendous season on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Thank you so much for watching all season long. Again, OSN's not done with playoff football, so tune into some games next week. I may even be on the call for one of them. Who knows? You may find Billy or I behind the mic again next week doing something. So keep up with us for that. So for Uriah Martinez working the camera, and Gene Reed, who joined me tonight, filling in for Billy Collier. Carson Wade is with us all season. I'm Josh Calloway. Thank you so much for watching all season long. Elk City wins tonight 28-21 to move to the quarterfinals. Racers finish their season at 7-4. Good night, everybody. We'll see you next season.